66 years old today. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
All right, Marissa. In honor of Susan Sarandon's birthday, this is Murr with Novocaine in his mouth from Impractical Jokers trying to say Susan Sarandon's shrimp scampi.
You know who I heard makes a stupendous shrimp scampi? You know who I heard makes a stupendous shrimp scampi?
That's them telling him what to say, and then he says it.
Susan Sarandon. Susan Sarandon makes a great shrimp scampi.
Oh, my God.
It's one of their best episodes ever. All right, we'll see if somebody knows the answer to the stupid question this morning in Finding Nemo. Where is the dentist's diploma from? And we will go to Ozzy, who is on the line. Yo, Oz, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
All right, Ozzy, where is the dentist diploma from, please?
The Pixar University of Dentistry.
That is correct. Pixar University. Hang on, Oz. We're going to give you a 4-pack of tickets for Lincoln Mill Haunted House, Main Street in Manayunk this Saturday, and it will feature over 50 live scare actors, production quality sets, props, and special effects. Plus, you can learn more about serial killer Victor Kane's secrets in Manayunk. Tickets and info at LincolnMillHaunt.com. Got a few stories to run by you. We'll start with this. Adam Devine and Chloe Bridges are expecting their first child together. In a Monday Instagram post, the Pitch Perfect star announced that he and his wife Chloe are expecting their first baby, and he had captioned a photo of himself with Chloe standing back to back with their hands on their belly, saying, "Look, we're pregnant." And now I'm just fat, he says, but Chloe is also preggo.
I like him a lot.
With a human baby. Obviously, very exciting stuff, he said. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
Very talented.
He's a lot of fun. He's on The Righteous Gemstones.
Yes.
He plays. They all play weird characters on that show. He continued saying, "This will mostly be a baby page now, as I will be dedicating my life to my child in hopes he doesn't use my decades of recorded dirty jokes against me." The Pretty Little Liars actress also shared the news on her Instagram, saying, "We have news." She captioned a similar photo saying, "Can't wait to get this little family started." The pair met in 2014 when they were filming The Final Girls and began dating in February 2015. Adam announced his and Chloe's engagement in October of 2019. See, I think they go the long haul. They took their time before getting together.
I think that makes sense.
Getting married. They got married in 2021.
And look on the page we're looking at. It says liked by Marissa Magnata.
Does it really? Wow. Okay, so they
And
got a baby, by the way.
736,000 other people.
Speaking of babies, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner are turning to mediation to work through custody of their children. In a hearing yesterday, lawyers for the estranged couple revealed that they are set to start a 4-day mediation on Wednesday to resolve issues in their divorce.
Joseph, how do you feel when Sophie calls you a little twerp?
Including establishing custody and a parenting plan for their two daughters, Willa and Delphine. Although the judge set a January 2nd trial date, the mediation aims to solve many of Turner and Jonas's custody issues. In court, Turner's lawyer, Stephen Cullen, claimed that Jonas is asking for joint custody, saying that what he was looking for is 50-50. The parties are both seeing the children, which is what we all want.
Sophie is trying to get them to decide the whole thing by a jump ball.
The judge agreed with...
Wait a second, that's no fair.
With Cullen saying that she echoes concerns about the children that he had brought up. Despite high hopes for the mediation, Cullen said that the current case, quote, should produce in parallel track to the mediation.
Of course, you understand legalese, Preston.
The mediation comes after Turner sued her estranged husband for wrongful retention, alleging that Jonas was withholding their passports and not allowing them to return to England. The complaint against the musician called for the immediate return of the children wrongfully removed or wrongfully retained. Turner's legal team asserted the wrongful retention began on September 20th. Shortly after Turner filed her complaint, Jonas released a statement disputing her claims and saying that he believed the two had reached an agreement to work on co-parenting.
You see these things happen all the time in entertainment or just in life in general. And if you are heading anywhere near, at least to me, Nick, you went through it, try to approach it as civilly as possible.
Communicate.
Because it goes south so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can. And I can see how that can happen. And people can take the low road. If both parties take the high road, everybody wins.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially
also,
the kids, which is what you...
Yeah, most of the kids. You're absolutely right, Steve. However, the costs that can be associated with taking the low road are just mind-boggling.
Yeah, right?
and a huge waist.
Yeah.
Everything else is a waste of time. Back off, war child. You're wearing your shirt today, Preston.
I am, yes.
That would be a waste of time.
Point Break.
I'm wearing
That's your lawyer.
war child. Yeah.
Point Break Law Firm.
Yeah.
Back off, war child.
This is
Seriously.
Attorney War Child.
Esquire.
He's going to advise you to back off.
The official recommendation of this party is
We believe you should back off.
all right, moving on to another divorce. Us Weekly reports that Joshua Jackson did not expect Jodie Turner-Smith to file for divorce. What? According to the source, Joshua was clearly caught off guard by Jodie's decision to divorce.
He came back with a huge bouquet of flowers.
They had their issues, as many couples do, especially two busy actors who are also juggling a child.
I've decided that you're a turd.
Joshua obviously didn't realize it was this bad, that Jodie was this unhappy. The source said their friends are baffled and trying to understand how this came about.
You reported yesterday, she'd posted, I guess, on Instagram that she was having this birthday party, and she, in not so veiled language, suggested he wasn't there, and that was upsetting to her.
E-News reports that the pair were photographed holding hands at New York Fashion Week on September 12th, just one day before the date of separation listed on Monday's October 2nd divorce filings. So Bob Saget's widow, Kelly Rizzo, was speaking to Extra on Monday and said she is open to dating following the Full House actor's death in January of last year.
You know, Bob Saget would want her to be happy.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Rizzo also opened up to the outlet about experiencing survivor's guilt. She said, you feel guilty if you have happy moments or if you're not feeling sad all the time. You feel guilty about that. But then I learned that's very normal. I would imagine that is.
I had survivor's guilt the other night. I watched The Price is Right primetime, and it was a survivor's episode. And it was terrible.
Oh, no, that's
and I felt guilty for watching. Is that the same thing?
No, I don't think that's...
She said, now that enough time has passed, even his girls are always like, that's silly. Heavenly Bob wants you to be happy. Earthly Bob would have been like, not too happy. So, yeah, I would imagine it's common, absolutely common for people to go through things.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah.
Celebrities are strutting their stuff during Paris Fashion Week. People reports that Angela Bassett made her runway debut at the Mugler Show on Monday.
The Mugler Show?
Yeah.
Is that from the Derelict collection?
She was
I was
wearing...
thinking like Harry Potter
Me
collection.
too, yeah. She was wearing an all-black ensemble that trailed behind her.
Angela Bassett is wearing an all-black ensemble.
Ensemble. And Paris Hilton also walked the show wearing a...
Backstage, all of the models are poking smutty.
No, shut up. I was wondering when that was going to resurface. I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, nobody has said anything this week. And there it went. All right, Paris Hilton also walked in the show wearing a black miniskirt and a boxy top.
A boxy top?
What's a boxy top, Kath?
I would imagine just kind of
Squared
boxy
off.
shape. Yeah.
Okay. This comes after Viola Davis walked the runway alongside her husband, Julius Tenon, for the L'Oreal Paris Le Défilé Walk, Your Worth event on Sunday.
Who, what, where?
The Paris Le Défilé Walk. Whatever. I never took French.
You can't tell.
No. Right? Not at all. I'll just play
You're
it
like
off.
Maurice Chevalier over there.
According to court documents obtained by Page Six, Angela White, formerly known as Black China, has had to start selling her clothing, purses, and shoes in order to make ends meet amid her custody battle with Tyga. And it is only a temporary solution, as she says, as I will eventually run out of items that I can sell.
So she really has, at least on the outside, done a full 180 and is trying to be, kind of a normal person. So I wonder how this will impact that.
Yeah.
I mean, she did an OnlyFans run.
But her name is Angela White, and she went by Black China?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
She should have gone by White China.
I know.
White is asking that Tyga pay $125,000 for her legal and accounting fees.
Tyga's real name is Morton Lipschitz.
The reality star filed for joint physical custody of their 10-year-old son, King Cairo, in July. Rachel Zegler is standing up for Taylor Swift after the singer attended the Chiefs game this past weekend. The West Side Story actress took to social media to call out the way men feel entitled to speak about women, their bodies, and their sex lives. She said, "You will never see people speaking this way about a man." This is in
That's not
response.
true.
Well, this is in response to a video of two men talking about Swift and Kelsey having sex. And she said that goes for a lot of different scenarios. We do not pick apart men's attitudes and relationships the way we do women's. And it's not always just men who speak this way about us. Women can do it too, and it sucks, she said. She had that seeing a lot of, quote, "it's a joke," but you've got to understand that since being the beginning of time, the, quote, "you can't take a joke" has been synonymous with, "let me say a horrible thing about women while suffering the consequences. We're sick and tired. It's never been funny. Get a life," she said. But you're right, Casey. Yes, women, of course, sometimes do. Men and women, people do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It gets vicious on both sides.
But I didn't see
Get away from me.
That's it. That's a woman.
I didn't see the video she was talking
That's Crumbleina.
Crumbleina. So I'm not sure what all she was going on about. Matthew McConaughey shared his thoughts on his mother, quote, testing his wife, Camila Alves, when they first started dating. This comes after Alves was on a podcast and revealed she would call me by all of Matthew's ex-girlfriend names. She would start speaking Spanish with me in a very broken way, kind of putting down a bit, all kinds of stuff. And Matthew said, "My family and part of Camila's and I as well, we cherish the value of a sense of humor and comedy. While some people were offended by his mother's funny behavior, the actor said Camila wasn't wounded about it. He said, what tickles us may bruise others."
You're funny.
So apparently it was kind of playful.
Okay, but she didn't quite see it that way.
I guess at the time.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe I think she kind of is cool with it now.
All right. Yeah, I'm okay with the old bitch.
Ozzy Osbourne is taking up a new hobby. The 74-year-old rock icon is practicing Tai Chi.
Wow. Actually, that would be good for him.
To help ease his Parkinson's disease symptoms, he said during the latest episode
Wow.
of the Osbournes podcast. So he said, "I'm going to try and do Tai Chi. It's good for balance." He announced this on the podcast, and he was joined by Sharon, Kelly, and Jack.
So there's, John Saxon, the actor from years ago, was practiced Tai Chi. I guess there are two versions. There is one that is very much a martial art, a self-defense, but the sort of yoga-esque type of Tai Chi is supposed to be wonderful.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
At all. I see people doing it.
You would just kind
doing
of
the
circular motions.
I don't understand what the end goal of that is. Shell and I were doing yoga for a bit there, and I want to get back to doing that. That I get. I understand what that's about and stretching and all that stuff, but I don't understand what the Tai Chi thing is. And I've talked to people who do it and love it, and I should probably try it. And see what it's all about.
My guess is it's more contemplative than yoga, because yoga you are actually really stretching.
Yeah, not only stretching. There's you're holding poses and you're getting in a workout.
So Tai Chi to me seems very, for lack of a better word, sort of melodic.
Yeah, it's a moving meditation.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. It's not supposed to be like yoga. It's supposed to be like meditation, but you're moving.
Okay.
Kathy knows all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
She's done yoga with goats.
So did Preston. Remember, we did goat yoga here.
Yeah, I would have to do this to experience it and try to figure out where the meditative side of things come in for that, because I'll be thinking too hard about my movements and body position and everything to actually let go and let my mind be free and let it all come in.
There's a video running behind you. Just replicate the movements right now.
Well,
no, I'm not going to do that right now.
I've never done it before, so I'm not sure. But my guess is that the movements are not. You have yoga in your mind. They're not movements like that.
Yoga on my mind.
To me, I would think, at least to start, it's very simple because
you do a slow version of the wave.
maybe.
Right?
Maybe
That's
that's
exactly
it.
Okay, I'll stand up and do a little bit, but you'll see them, doing things.
Yeah, like it's very simple. It's just like you're moving your arms along a line.
No, I know, but I don't get it. I don't get this whole thing. I don't get it.
Well, I'm explaining
This
to
is
you.
called hailing a taxi.
Yeah. Just do it, and then maybe you will get it as you're doing it.
I think,
Kathy.
I think Kathy is right. A moving meditation makes more sense to me because So yoga is
doing the sprinkler.
You're staying in the
Right.
moment when you're doing it. So
do the Carlton.
I should do. Yeah, I need to do all the old dance moves,
yeah.
like starting the lawnmower.
there were some new ones that I've seen on the internet.
Like
that,
this?
Yeah. Ooh, what's that one?
That's the
That's the
Disco
earthworm.
Inferno.
What's this one?
That is the getaway from me.
Get away. That's the helicopter.
At least we're taking it seriously.
Yeah. Well, we were for a second.
Preston, do this.
Oh my God.
Now you're
All
tossing
right,
spider
stop.
webs.
No, he's flinging something else.
Yeah.
All right, now you guys are making me feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
But,
Here, tai Chi is a practice that involves a series of slow, gentle movements and physical postures, a meditative state of mind, and controlled breathing.
I think so.
It's a moving meditation.
So for Ozzy, I think this would make more sense because physically he probably couldn't pull off yoga like a real.
Yeah, right.
Yoga,
Exactly.
well, people think yoga. They dismiss yoga. Yoga is
not
very
easy.
demanding.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Like I've it's a workout. It can definitely be a.
I
workout.
remember-
But listen, hold on a second.
Yeah.
He's doing this for a physical reason, for Parkinson's. So it's there have to be physical benefits to the movements that you're doing.
I think it's also mind control and having
Yeah.
your body respond. Right.
Right.
Say, Kathy and I can open
That's
up
what
a
I was
studio.
going to say.
Well, Ozzy says it's the balance that helps me. So
okay.
that's what he's doing. Saying I want to get back to all the options, or I want to get back to it, and I want to all the options are open for me.
Kathy, are there Tai Chi studios?
I don't know. I've never
yes.
done
Okay.
it.
There
I'm
are.
sure
Because
there
I'm
are.
going to go and do Tai Chi and then afterwards have some chai tea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good.
right.
And then
That
take
would-
a
that
quick
would-
pee.
That would
and
bring it
then
all
take-
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do Tai Chi, have some chai tea, and then take a quick pee.
All of that works together. That'd be a perfect day right there.
That's the best day of my life.
All right. Well, enough about that. Let's move
More
on.
breaking news.
More breaking news on this. I'd like to try Tai Chi.
Breaking news.
All right, this is breaking news. Deadline reports that Only Murders in the Building will be back for a fourth season.
I love that show.
Hulu renewed the hit, starring Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, and Martin Short, of course, on Tuesday. And the show's third season premiered in August and saw the highest viewership for any scripted Hulu original this year, by the way.
Steve, how far into this season are you?
I'm pretty far along.
Okay.
I have not seen. I think I'm two back.
Okay. The finale is...
It pissed me off, Nate, because I didn't realize. I was like, oh, I can finish it up now and
No.
watch it, and they're still being rolled out.
I think the finale is tonight, or maybe tomorrow night at midnight. To me, this is the best season thus far. There are some cameos this season. Preston, there's an episode. I know you kind of bailed on the first season. I want you to come back for season 3 because there's an episode that is so up your alley that it's like it's perfectly scripted for you. But Steve, we've said this many times. It's such a great murder mystery show. On top of it being funny and really terrific,
It really
acting.
is. So
I have no idea what's going to happen in the finale.
Though.
I have guesses.
I thought it was Meryl Streep, but now I don't think that.
Yeah, I know.
But listen, the second season I thought was very Agatha Christie-esque. This third season has been the funniest.
Yeah,
I think
it's my favorite show on
Yeah.
TV right now. I absolutely love it.
Well done. Okay, you can release your fingers from yours, Casey.
Oh, you were...
Yeah, sometimes you
caught
guys
up?
reveal a little too much about, and
Okay.
I'm only like 2 episodes into the third season.
Okay.
So I don't want to hear nothing.
It's you'll enjoy it. That's all we'll
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Couple other quick things. Loki executive producer Kevin Wright spoke to Variety in an article published on Monday about why Jenna the Major's role wasn't cut back in season 2 despite his arrest for domestic violence in March. He said, I know as much as you do at the moment. It felt hasty to do anything without knowing how all this plays out. And this comes after Rolling Stone published an expose in June which details the Creed 3 actor's treatment of other ex-girlfriends. 9 sources told the outlet that he subjected one ex-girlfriend to really extreme abuse physically and mentally, alleging that he strangled her as well. But his domestic violence trial has been postponed until October 25th.
They also shot a lot of the series
they
at that
shot it.
point. So and everyone is due their day in court, right? So that I guess that's what they're doing.
This guy's from Philly.
Jonathan Majors?
Nope. Kevin Wright.
Oh,
That Preston was alluding to earlier.
interesting.
Yeah, he's the executive producer.
Yeah,
of
University of Arts.
Do you know? I thought was I think I don't know, a much more formidable villain. He's gone now, but the villain in Guardians 3,
God, I don't remember it.
he's a geneticist basically. I
that
forget
guy.
his name,
Yeah, yeah.
but he was excellent, and the actor was terrific.
All right, one last story. On Tuesday, A24 dropped the official trailer for Priscilla, starring Jacob Elordi. Is that how you say the name?
Oh, Lordy.
And Kaylee Spaney as Elvis and Priscilla Presley.
That's right, man. What are you, 9?
At the film's premiere during the Venice Film Festival in September, the real-life Priscilla Presley told E! News that it was very difficult to watch her life unfold on screen, but that the director, Sofia Coppola, did an amazing job and did her homework. The film is based on Priscilla's 1985 memoir, Elvis and Me, and that will hit theaters on November 3rd.
I've heard split stories that she hates it and loves it at the same time. I don't get it.
All right, we're ready for clips now. Pet Sematary Bloodline is a prequel to the movie Pet Sematary, which was based on the 1983 novel by Stephen King. In this clip, Lindsay Anderson Beer talks about expanding the novel into a full feature film.
I mean, first of all, Pet Sematary was my favorite King book when I was a kid. So that was a little bit of a dream project. I felt like Pet Sematary particularly is kind of a backdoor horror movie. It's a family drama that becomes incredibly terrifying.
I'm scared.
I'm kind of interested in the book. They really heavily rely on a Native American myth called the Wendigo.
Right.
And so they didn't really touch on that in the movies that I saw. So I would like to see them explore that a little bit.
It's very limited in the first one. From what I understand, I never read Pet Sematary, but there were departures from the book that made the movie a little stupid in some ways, although I do like it.
Yeah, so Pet Sematary's Bloodlines is released to streaming this Friday. Next clip. The action-adventure movie The Creator is about a future war between the human race and artificial intelligence. Here, director Gareth Edwards talks about the efficient way they decided to create this movie. Here we go.
Let's shoot the movie, let's edit it, and then when we know what's in the film, let's give those frames to our designer, James Klein, and his team, and they can paint in the science fiction of exactly what's in the movie. So it's like a way more efficient thing.
The Creator is out in theaters now, if you want to see that, by the way. All right, so
I do want to see it. The visuals are pretty amazing.
He directed Rogue One.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gareth Edwards, yeah.
Love that movie. All right, and that is the entertainment report for today. A reminder, secret text word. Chance for you to win tickets to see Depeche Mode Wednesday, October 25th at the Wells Fargo Center. Tickets are on sale now, but you have a chance to win them. So text the word secret to 39333. We'll send a word back to you, ask you to call in later. Designated caller gets those tickets. And we also have a random pair that will or a pair to a random texter that we will give away as well. Lots of stuff on the show. Crumb Bum Cash. We've got comedians, actors, and all kinds of things taking place. So we'll come back in a moment and dive into it all. Stay with us. I'm sure you heard about this, but it's a big announcement. Princess Kate and Prince William are expecting their third child together. It is official. Kensington Palace confirmed on Monday that they are already, of course, they are already the parents to Prince George IV, and who is 4. I'm sorry, not the 4th. Prince George is 4.
How did you pull that one off?
And Princess Charlotte, who
I
is
ricocheted off the ceiling.
Who is 2. The Royal Highness, here's the official announcement from Kensington Palace. It said, Their Royal Highness, says, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are very pleased to announce that the Duchess of Cambridge is expecting their third child.
Harry IV.
The Queen and
of
member
England
of
and
both
members of Parliament, in conjunction with the Benny Hill estate.
They got involved.
Of both families are delighted with the news.
What?
Ringo and Benny Hill. Stepping up.
Fish and chips, fox hunts,
Tallywhacker.
Tallywhacker.
So Kate is again facing an acute form of morning sickness. Sometimes she had grappled with during her first 2 pregnancies.
It's completely debilitating. Do they have the name of it there? It's
It's called hypermesis gravidarum.
Right. So she's her level of nausea and everything is off the charts.
Sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
Yeah.
But she had it with each kid.
Yeah, exactly. So she actually canceled an appearance Monday morning due to the illness. And they had said that in a statement as with her previous 2 pregnancies, the Duchess is suffering from hypermesis gravidarum. Her Royal Highness will no longer carry out her planned engagement at the Hornsey Road Children's Centre in London today. The 35-year-old royal is expected less than 3 months, is reportedly, less than 3 months pregnant. And they only went public with the information because of how sick she is.
Are you okay in there, sweetheart? Would you like some milk of magnesia?
The prince recently discussed Kate's parents.
Seems to be in a bad way.
The prince recently discussed Kate's parenting skills in glowing terms and admitted that there are good days and bad days for every parent. He had said, as the other parents in the room will testify, there's wonderful highs and there's wonderful lows. It's been quite a change for me personally. I'm very lucky in the support I have from Catherine. She's an amazing... She's an amazing mother and a fantastic wife. Love between a man and a woman is a beautiful thing.
Especially if it's on video.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't you agree? Yeah.
I'd have to agree with you on that. And as wonderful as expressing that love through human touch and well, getting it on.
Right.
I'm being nice because Bill's here this morning.
I know.
All right. This is about sex.
Yeah.
The withdrawal method.
Okay, where you go to the bank and you take everything out in one shot.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
No, also known as the pull-out method.
Yeah.
Is being used by twice as many men as a decade earlier. Is a form of birth control.
Yeah, it is the most. It is a risky proposition.
Oh yeah,
and,
absolutely.
That's I don't know if that's not good news.
Listen to this. While 10% of unmarried men between the ages of 15 and 44 used this form of birth control in 2002, that number jumped to 19% in 2015, according to the Center for Disease Control. Yeah, but the use of condoms is on the rise, but still only a third of men wear them.
In my condom days, my brand, purchasable at the local mobile station, Bareback.
Bareback?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Wow. I was a Trojan guy. I went with the most popular product.
Trojan brand.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Do they still have the machines in men's bathrooms? I haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah. Well, the dispensers you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I on the weekends, I work as a lot lizard.
It's good to know that those are there.
Yeah. You sure you're a woman? Yeah.
I have on rare occasions seen them before, Case.
That's where I saw them for the first time as a child. There was a bar across the street from our swim club.
Go buy Daddy some condoms.
And no, but I didn't know what condoms were. I just know that they had a machine there.
Yep.
And so I went over there. I bought some out of there. I bought a French tickler and a regular one.
I was going to ask if they had French ticklers or not. Yeah.
And then I brought it back to the pool and I inflated them like they were balloons.
Of course.
And there was like an adult who was like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like,
what is that?
Give me a little
Want to have a pool party? I've been waiting for you. This is a dream come true.
According to Planned Parenthood, about 27 of 100 women will get pregnant with her partner when her partner uses the withdrawal as control. Comparatively, only about 9 out of every 100 women on a contraceptive pill will become pregnant in a year.
Have you ever seen just one fireman on a hose? That's kind of what I'm like. So with the whole withdrawal thing, like I have no control.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably took it one level into the uncomfortable Bill area.
Yeah.
About exactly how you discharge.
Dude. Okay. We're going to move along now to something else.
So we do support our local firefighters.
Of course. Yes. Of course. But we had 4 listeners come in. We had Mel, Frank, Kat, and Victoria, because we have been talking about the movie It, which is opening on Friday. I'm going to go see it on Saturday. I already got my tickets. I'm ready.
I'm seeing it Friday.
All right. So what we did is we took these 4 listeners, Mel, Frank, Kat, and Victoria, and we put them in another room with Dr. Steven Rosenberg, Philadelphia's #1 hypnotist, the Thor of hypnosis.
The Thor. He's been referred to quite often as the Thor of hypnosis.
But I want to, it's going to take a minute, but they're in the other room. I want to bring our listeners in.
Aren't you?
And we're going to have them meet some people.
Meet some people. Aren't you pulling for them?
Yeah. I think it would be awesome.
It'd be so cool.
Yeah, if they were able to get past their fears. But are going to set the stage here. They're making their way in now. There's Kat, and here
Mel looks
comes
scared.
Mel. Mel doesn't look happy. And you have Victoria. She was the most scared. And Frank is wearing his glasses. He's got a vision issue, so we can't quite read him from his eyes. So why don't you guys come on over to the microphones over here. And first of all, let's see how you're feeling. Kat, you were the first one in. How you feeling after that session with Dr. Rosenberg?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay.
I'm more relaxed, more
All right.
calm.
Good.
Yeah. It was definitely calming. And
Okay.
Okay.
But
stressing.
now what you may learn is that from now on you're going to smoke. No.
Yeah, that's they replace
the
your fear
one
of clowns with
trade-off.
smoking.
Yeah.
Mel,
Replace your clown fear with the desire to smoke.
Mel, you looked really nervous when you walked in here. Is it the fact that we have the room decorated with balloons and circus fair? Does that bother you at all?
Yeah, actually, it's bothered me quite a bit.
Oh, really?
I was really relaxed until I saw the balloons and the big tent behind me.
Then let's go to Victoria. Hello there, Victoria. How you doing?
Shaking.
Okay.
All right, and then last, let's talk to Frank. How do you feel? What did you think of the session? Did it resonate with you at all?
Not really.
Not
no.
really. Okay. Well, what would you just you just don't like clowns?
Correct.
We have some clowns here. Okay,
Right.
and what we're not gonna have people screaming and yelling and running in and going crazy or anything like that.
No.
We just wanted to get your initial reaction when we bring a clown into the studio. Mel is already. You look like you've gone into. You're staring off into
white.
the distance.
This should be fun.
Mel,
Yeah.
you okay?
Yeah, I'll be good.
Mel's crying, guys.
Yeah, I don't think
Mel.
we should ever.
Mel, do you want to take a seat, Mel? Are you good? Okay. All right.
All right, so this is a heavy metal version of Send in the Clowns. We're bringing in our first clown. This is Cheeks, by the way.
Cheeks is a female clown.
Yeah, so Cheeks is coming. Cheeks, just stay over by Nick. Don't get any closer.
Mel, how you look? Cheeks is fairly pleasant, right?
Cheeks is good.
Okay.
Cheeks is good.
Could you normally be this close to a clown?
What?
Could you normally be this close to a clown?
My other past instances have kind of been fight or flight, so I've just run.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
so
you're
this
doing
is
great.
This is good. This is
Doing
good.
well.
Kat, you're not looking at
No,
her.
she's not looking at all.
I don't like the black lipstick. It's
The black lipstick.
yeah.
Victoria is not looking at her either. She's just to her left.
And you're doing okay.
You should feel my pulse, because my pulse isn't doing okay.
Okay, but
Can you look at her?
No, I'm good.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
You don't want to look at her? Because, so we've gone to, this was the easiest level, by the way. We're going to bring it up just a notch. Let's bring in Grin next, please.
Grin.
Connor, let Grin come into the studio. Now, be nice, Grin. Come on in. All right, here. Oh, my God.
Hey, here's Grin.
He's horrible. Victoria's crying now.
Victoria crying?
She is.
Yeah, she is. Okay.
Frank, how you doing?
If it wasn't for the fact that I don't have enough money for bail, I'm okay.
It's wild that his reaction is to
Attack.
I can see that, though.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring in our last clown, and we'll do this quickly, and then we'll get them out of here because I think it's getting to be too much.
Yeah,
for these
and get
guys.
the
So
assessment. All right,
let's
other
bring
clowns, step
Carnage.
back.
Let's bring Carnage in. Carnage is he's the head honcho, and he is not only is he wearing the bib overalls, but he also has a chicken hanging around his neck, which he was squeaking. And Carnage, come on over to the microphone. How you doing, man?
Good. How's it going, guys?
Good. It's good to see you as always, sir. It's kind of tough to miss these guys when they
No,
show
they're
up.
awesome. And they're believe it or not, at the camp out a lot of times, kids will come up to them because they think they're so cool. So you guys hearing them speak in normal voices, does that make a difference?
Yeah, no, I'd say definitely hearing them talk is one thing, and just physically seeing them and hearing like sound effects is another. So that horn like triggered me.
Oh my God, Carnage is leaning in towards her.
She is.
Oh, he's handing her a bloody rag. That's probably not a good idea.
All right.
And then, Kat, how are you doing now?
Yeah, seeing them just walk in was it made your heart race and stomach drop. And then when they start talking, it's all right.
Okay, all right. I think we're making strides
I think
here.
so.
Does
Casey,
anybody want to hug them?
Go ahead.
A clown?
Yes.
Mel is saying no.
Don't let Frank
say
do
no.
it.
Kat, would you be open to a hug from one of these clowns?
I'll hug a clown.
We're breaking down barriers here. All right, Kat. No, let's not have them.
No,
come
no, no.
over.
You come over.
You go to the clowns. All right,
There we go.
so we're gonna a group hug. Look at this!
Wow.
Get a picture of this. This is wonderful.
It worked.
Now that was That was special. Victoria?
Okay.
All right, Victoria's going to do it. All right, Victoria. Mel, you don't have to. Don't worry.
No, Mel, you're fine.
All right, so Victoria's getting in. She's actually smiling.
Feels so
And
comfortable.
she's closing her eyes at the same time. So we're going to get a really good picture for you. Let me ask Mel, would you like to do it or no?
Sure.
All right, she's diving in. She's going to do it.
We're making friends.
We're making friends. This is a beautiful thing.
Mel, look at Mel's face. You're
on,
doing a
Alex.
great job.
Oh, yes, that was huge. All right, Frank, we're not even going to ask. Unless you want to volunteer that. Yeah, you probably don't, do you?
No.
Okay, he doesn't.
All right.
Oh, my
Is this
God.
real?
Are
I
you
don't-
really doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's
Very good.
Awesome. I love that. Let's hear it for Mel and Frank and Kat and Victoria. They did wonderful. Fear of Clowns. Getting over it right here on the Preston and Steve Show. Yes, we have from the band Fozzy. Let's give some love, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I walked in. There's a whole studio audience here, a live studio audience.
Yeah.
This
And
is great.
And a lot of people were excited and came in here very specifically just to say hi and see this interview in person.
Well, it's great, and thanks for having me on. You must be like first I'm on the phone, then I'm here in person. I appreciate all the Jericho love. I'll tell you that right now.
Coming over to the house next.
Yeah, I got an app next week. There's a hologram. They're going to tour. There's the Jericho hologram and the Dio hologram are going on tour next month.
Hey, you got to milk all the milk out of that cow.
Every way you can. Squeeze the crap out of every drop.
Every teat.
Absolutely.
Let me
Every
tell you
teat.
first how impressed I am with the album. I took it home the other day. I listened to it on the.
93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. I don't know if you guys heard, but the Phils won their first game last night. Wild card playoffs last night. Couple of our family members were in attendance. Nick was there. Marissa was there last night. I mean, talk about a gorgeous night to go to a baseball game. And it's going to be great tonight and tomorrow, too. So that's wonderful.
Yes,
Hopefully
yes.
just tomorrow is all we have to worry about. We don't have to worry about
Well, just tonight.
Just tonight.
Tonight, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
tomorrow we won't have to worry about. But there was something took place.
Yeah.
That you said, Nick, that you thought was worth spotlighting.
So I was sitting in, in section 132. I had great seats, and we were behind the Marlins dugout. And at any Phillies game, you'll get some fans from the opposing team. There aren't, in fairness, a lot of Marlins fans out there, period. And the two Marlins fans were in our section last night, and they were actually really nice guys. They were having some fun. They were rooting for the team, but by no means were they being obnoxious or annoying or anything like that. And at one point, in between innings, there was a guy, as the Marlins were coming off the field and getting ready to bat, one of the Marlins players tossed the ball into our section. One of these Marlins fans caught the ball and then handed it to a kid. They gave it right to a Phillies fan.
Very nice.
And they were just nice dudes who were rooting for their team, right? And so in the 7th or 8th inning, and by the way, I was sitting with Bob Kelly of Fox 29. Bob's such a great guy, and it was really cool to hang out with him all night. And so I posted a picture on my Instagram of me and Bob and these two guys, and they got ejected, and I don't know why. And everybody in our section who was also having fun with these guys, but I swear they
It's
weren't
good-natured fun.
yeah, absolutely, Steve. They were not really being jerks at all. They got ejected, and so we were chatting with the security guard. Everybody like in our section was like, "No, these guys are cool. These guys are doing just they're fine. They're not doing anything wrong." The security guards wouldn't listen to us, and they got escorted out. And so Bob Kelly actually got their phone number and one of the dudes' phone numbers. They're from Florida. They live. They grew up in like West Palm. So they're like native Floridians, and that's the reason why they root for the Marlins. And we're going to try, I think Bob and I are going to try to take them to a future game. Probably not another playoff game, but maybe something in the spring training or next season or whatever. But it really bugged me that these poor dudes got tossed because I don't think they deserved it.
Do you think it's possible something happened that you were unaware of?
Well, I think that, so Bob and I were talking about it afterwards, after they got ejected, and Bob's wife was there and one of his kids. And apparently there were some people, some Phillies fans in the section 2 hour left, closer to left field, who were yelling at these dudes and like throwing something at them. And so I think the Phillies fans in the other section instigated it simply because they were wearing Marlins gear. And these guys sort of responded to that, but not in a malicious, awful way. But the security guard, I think, saw the response, and that's why they got tossed. And I think once a security guard makes up his or her mind, there's
no
very
going
little
back.
If you
can't
get,
change it.
and I can completely understand that, if you make it the case where you're going to negotiate everything down, and
Exactly.
you're going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
So it's probably best to just make the rule first instinct is the one you're going to go with, and you can hash it out later because otherwise it will escalate.
Yeah, and Steve, exactly to that point, the guys, the security guard came over, and everybody in our section, all the Phillies fans were like, no, these guys are cool, and the security guard was like, I'm not listening. I'm not. I
can't hear you.
Essentially, yeah. He'd already made up his mind that these guys were gone, which is a shame.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it bummed me out.
Do they live here locally, or were they coming in just for the game?
Well, they came in from. I think they live in North Jersey now, but they grew up in South Florida, and that's why the Marlins fans. I think one of the guys said he lives in Bayonne. But they like lifelong Marlins fans. The one dude, if you look in the picture, Preston, the guy that Bob Kelly's hugging, his great uncle was actually on the Phillies in the 50s.
What?
So he grew up like he's a baseball fan.
Yeah,
and so we just really had a nice conversation with them. And yeah, Steve, it was good natured razzing, but nobody was at all being a jerk at any point.
Well, it sounds like that you're going to make good on it. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding, but it's good to hear that there's there's so much. I mean, when kids get vomited on occasionally, this is pretty innocuous.
Let me ask you: were they? How far into the game was it?
I think it was the 8th.
Okay, so most of the way through.
Yeah, I mean,
at least they got to see most of the game.
Yeah,
at least they got to see most of their team losing.
That's right.
And were they really pissed off when it was happening, or were they just kind of like
they put up a fight and not in an aggressive way? They were just saying like, "Hey, we're not doing anything. We didn't do anything wrong. I want to fight you." And so they were defending themselves, but I think, Steve, they realized that the security guard was not going to bend at any point, and so they. I don't want to talk to you. They didn't realize, there was no way that they were going to change that person's mind. So once they recognized the fact that they were gone, they were gone.
I'd hate to be security at a stadium. I know. It's a thankless job because, and I'm sure the rule of thumb, I'm sure that the overriding edict is. No arbitration. You go. You act on your first instinct, follow through, and then you can hash it out later.
By the way, it was such a positive night. I mean, Preston, the weather was absolutely perfect. I like getting down to the game early. Hopefully not fighting a ton of traffic, getting into the parking lot, and just having some fun and hanging out with Phil's fans. And then Rhys Hoskins threw out the first pitch. And that was like the most touching, sweet moment. Like, I just love that guy. Yeah. He's so, and the fans went nuts having Rhys come out on the mound. He threw it to Kyle Schwarber, which was really cool. And then Zach Wheeler pitched a hell of a game. It was a great night to be a Phil's fan.
And Marissa had a caramel apple, apparently.
Oh. All right.
Brought over a picture. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, caramel apples are like 1,000% superior to candy apples. I think you guys would all agree with that, right?
Okay. I don't know why Marissa brought this picture over to me.
Well, it's just a positive note.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a positive note about a negative thing I will throw out there. Nobody has any vegetarian food anymore in the stadiums.
That seems vegetarian right there. Is there any meat in that caramel apple?
But it's really hard to find. It happened to me on Sunday at the Eagles game. There was no vegetarian food around.
Don't they have popcorn and soft pretzels?
Wait a second.
That's lame.
I thought that was part of the deal that they were adding.
Steve. Exactly. They keep saying like, "Oh, we have vegetarian, we have vegetarian."
Well,
it's like one stand on the other side. So whatever I found the really
fun.
They
have soda.
They do.
Yeah.
Steve. And beer. I found the one fun stand that has all the new additions, and they have hay bales. Kathy, I
can't eat those.
You instead of like stanchions, you walk through hay bales to walk in, and they had bacon and grilled cheese and tomato soup, and they had a gobbler bowl. And they had this caramel apple.
Oh, okay.
That was really good. See,
crab fries are vegetarian, aren't they?
Yeah, crab fries are. So is the mac and cheese.
Without the cheese sauce.
Okay, so I was just going to say, instead of fries and pretzels, it would be nice. It would be nice to have like a veggie burger.
A veggie burger? Okay.
Or like an eggplant on a stick.
Yeah.
A veggie hot dog. They used to have veggie hot dogs at all the stands.
A
and now
whole
they only
eggplant
on a stick.
On a stick.
Cooked or
I
not
like that. What are you having there?
Eggplant
on a stick?
Yeah.
What
I mean, listen,
great idea.
People walk around amusement parks with like a big chicken
turkey leg?
thigh, a turkey leg.
We dominate the rye bread industry now at stadium events. Now it's time to move on to eggplant on a stick.
Also, a caramel apple might be one of the most embarrassing foods to eat.
Caramel eggplant.
Caramel eggplant.
Caramel eggplant.
It was spraying everywhere. Every time I would like take a bite of the apple, I would like see the guy in front of me kind of wipe his arm on his shirt.
Dude, I was at an event one time and I saw somebody who had the wrong set of choppers bite into a caramel apple and cracked blood coming out. Oh my God. Caramel apples, they can be formidable if you don't have the proper.
Yeah, I don't know why they do it as the full apple. They should just cut it in slices, and it
Kathy.
should be slices.
I've come around to that. The best way to do it. Have you ever seen one of those apple slicers, corn slicer things you push down on it?
Much better.
Once you get a
Much
caramel
better.
apple, you take that, split it up into the pieces, and then eat it that way.
It's
On the
perfect.
stick, it's pretty ridiculous.
You could you could do an eggplant that way on a stick. That's fine.
Do an eggplant on a stick.
There is a vegetarian-based stand behind first base, Marissa. It is called Greens and Grains, and has a ton of delicious veggie food at the stadium.
They do. They have a veggie hot dog. They and actually, I'm very happy because earlier in the season they did not have just regular veggie dogs. They had like a specialty one that was more of like a veggie sausage. But they have a veggie cheesesteak. They have great foods, but that's just one stand.
All right.
And like if you're not sitting near there, you have to like cross the stadium.
It's so inconvenient.
You have some major
If you're
issues
not
with.
sitting near Chickies and Pete's, then how are you going to get your crab fries? They need to have more of those. And if you're not sitting near Manco, how are you going to? Sorry, not everything can be catered to you vegetarians.
But you know what? It's not. It's also. It shouldn't just be vegetarians. Like what I think. Well, you're.
What about
complaining
pescatarians?
No. But what about somebody who just wants a healthier option?
What about Lutheran?
That's not there. I think you say that instead of vegetarians, and that won't get.
And Methodist.
Yes, that's all.
I'm
no,
sorry,
there
but
is-
like, dude,
There's so little time in between innings now.
Then get there
that
earlier.
You can't if you want a snack.
Ass
You want it.
kickers.
My only option is a pretzel. Look, I just want a goddamn veggie dog. They're
There
so
you go.
damn good. And I
It's
don't
out
have
there.
to
We
walk
got it.
halfway around the stadium for a veggie
We
dog.
cast it into the ether. It's all you can do now. It's not. Don't twist yourself up.
That's okay.
It really hit
You were
me.
at a wonderful sporting event.
Yeah.
Look at the positive.
I had a great caramel apple.
There you go.
There you go. Okay.
You know how many kids in China would kill for a caramel apple at a Phillies game?
Two nice guys got thrown out of the game.
Right, they were brutalized.
And you didn't get your veggie dog.
I was trying to keep this positive, guys. I was
And
trying
it turned dark.
positive, and then you turn it.
It started off as a wonder. It was Finding Nemo, and then it became Taxi Driver.
Wait, she literally said, "I'm going to keep this positive," and said, "But I have one thing. There's nothing for me to eat."
And
You know what?
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yeah,
Get the hell out of here.
Fine, done. Bye.
That was the last straw. After all these years.
from me.
And then the exit. Do you think you did talk too
right.
much about candied apples?
Question about the caramel apple is that available all over the place or?
Nope, just one stand.
What?
Damn it!
All right.
Wait, are crab fries vegetarian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
without the
they're called
cheese
crab
sauce.
fries.
Without the.
No, it's just because the Old Bay seasoning.
Is that it?
That's
Yeah.
it.
A
There's
lot
an
of
actual
times
crab
they'll
in
serve them in a London broil.
Yeah.
Like all of those hers trips that we try, the like
Oh my
flavored
God.
ones, they're all vegetarian.
I think I would like crab fries in a blender, almost like
As a drink?
What?
As a drink?
Yeah, as a drink.
It takes Nick too long to eat the fries,
Nick,
dip them, and eat them.
Want
He
me to
just,
top off your crab fry?
Dude,
he
I
just wants to drink it.
Want me to top off your crab fry smoothie?
I dumped my cheese on the crab fries. So
And
whenever
then mix it up.
it's not enough cheese, by the way.
Thank
that
you.
one of those little things. But what I like
with
to
you.
do is I dump that on there, and as I walk back to my seat,
Right.
the cheese kind of works its way all the way down to the bottom. But you can't do that unless you have a fork to eat it with.
All right.
I will tell you this:
Right.
whenever we are in proximity, we used to do the calendar release parties, and I would not eat for like a day before because something that I loathed when I came to Philadelphia was the crab fries. Why do they like? And now I freaking love them.
Casey, you mentioned a fork. Let me throw this at you. A spoon. And you blend them.
Save
and
every
they-
drop.
Almost like.
Blend?
Yeah.
No.
Almost like.
What do you mean blend?
Like put them in a
like a
blender.
paste?
Yeah. Almost like.
Puree it.
You do you.
It's like mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
Wendy's.
he's right.
What's the Wendy's dessert? The Frosty. Almost like a Frosty.
You
but,
want a
crab fry style.
crab fry frosty?
I do. Yeah. Hot.
Have you considered
you're just
eggplant
saying
on a
that.
stick?
Honestly, I'm just trying to.
Might as well just eat some baby food.
Dude, you know
No,
what, though?
no.
All right, so
That's
speaking of
gross, Preston.
Speaking of blending things that aren't supposed to be blended, I saw this thing on Instagram the other day where a dude put a chicken breast, a potato, an onion. I know. Some
And a rabbi.
flour and a rabbi. I was like, why are you putting a rabbi in there? What did he do? But they blended it all up and they made their own chicken nuggies with that. And I was like, I think I
I've
need
seen
to
that
try
sort of
that.
quasi hack. I let the pros do it. One time though, Preston, we got when the Cuisinarts first came out, And my dad, after my mom passed away, and then he moved, and we had all these appliances. Well, let's try cooking, my brother and I, and let's make some mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving. Nick, to your drink,
right?
We pureed. It was a drink. The mashed potatoes you could literally pour as a drink. It was ridiculous.
Our friend Dr. Bill, he had to have his jaw broken intentionally, and when that happened, he had to. The way that he had food was, his jaw was wired shut, so he
drink everything. Right?
Yeah, he had to, and put it in a blender. And one time, his wife, my friend Jong, put a buffalo chicken pizza slice in a blender and blended it up and fed him buffalo chicken pizza that way. And I was like, all right, let me try it. And it tasted pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, blend more foods, eat them.
So, Casey, I think this is what we're seeing here is your chicken nugget.
Yeah, I need to do that because I'm a big fan of chicken nuggets, but sometimes the pre-frozen stuff, I don't know. I'm kind of over it a little bit. Yeah.
Honestly, the Tyson, they're the veg or the Impossible, basically their version of Impossible. Their chicken nuggets are tremendous. Yeah.
By the way, people are saying that if we blend crab fries, essentially that's mashed potatoes. And
that's what I said.
I
said that.
Okay.
It's mashed potatoes.
Cheesy mashed potatoes.
With some
mashed
crispy fried little
with a
chunky
spoon,
parts in
But
it.
hang on a second here. I've never had mashed potatoes with Old Bay, and I think
That might be
maybe
kinda good.
we might be onto something.
It's probably pretty good.
You hit something that I was just thinking myself.
Yeah.
Would Old Bay mashed potatoes?
Cheesy Old Bay mashed potatoes.
I wouldn't overdo it though.
No,
I would more so take your regular mashed potatoes and just sprinkle a little Old Bay on top. That ought to be enough.
Yeah, I agree. In
That's all
fact,
you
that
gotta
needs
do.
to happen. But today, I believe, is a day for biscuits, correct?
We are, we got the Biscuit Lady coming in.
Put those in a
this
blender.
morning. You can put those in a blender, Nick. You should open up a restaurant that's just all blended.
Preston,
foods.
you and me, we get. Listen, there's got to be some space there at Citizens Bank Park for our eggplant on a stick stand.
Yeah. Nick, I need to think of a restaurant name for you. Yay Puree or something like that. I don't know.
Guess what? I get you puree.
Yeah.
What about like pure A?
Pure A.
Or you could use blend in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a blend word.
Yeah. Nick's blend. I mean, there's already a blendini, right? That's
Yes, there
Rita's
is.
makes that.
And there's
blendini.
Mike Baldini.
I like that guy.
There is Mike Baldini.
There is Mike Baldini.
There is.
All right.
We
Hang
learned
on.
nothing.
Anyway, all right. So
Phils.
I want to talk about something else. Go Phils. Kathy had an event last night as well.
It's very
Nick
important.
was at the ball game, so was Marissa, and but Kathy was at a fall activity event last night.
And it was.
Where's the drop?
It was so much fun.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, it was so much fun. We were at Sycamore and Stone Farm. That's Jeff Devlin's farm. What a great little place. I didn't I told him, I didn't grasp the concept of what you were doing here because he has so much going on. He has like an Airbnb that he rents out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was all.
Me neither. And I'm like, and he's like, that he kept referring to the house. And I'm like, is it your house? He's like, no, it's the Airbnb house. And then he has this farm there that he does, a lot of his work, I guess. And then they have a little room where we had the activity. They've got a little shop there. It's great.
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
We had so much fun. We made dried floral wreaths and bouquets with bygone flowers. This was Nicole's, I believe, her first class. She doesn't have a storefront, which is why we went to Jeff's place. And I think this was her first class. It was awesome. We had so much fun. But what I loved the most was there was, a ton of people there, but a couple came. We had a guy that came and made wreaths and bouquets with us. His name was Anthony, and he's the one that heard the activity list. He booked it for him and his girlfriend. It was her birthday, and so he brought her as part of her birthday gift.
Well, that's cool. There are trays of cookies and stuff, and
Some glasses of wine.
So was this is the one that did they add? You added another one?
No, this is not the one that we added another one. But Jeff has a ton of classes at Sycamore and Stone Farm, and I'm actually going back for another one. But if you go to his website or just go to our website, actually on my fall activities list, you can see everything that Jeff has there. But it's a great room for fall activities.
By the way, Cowper needs to say Sycamore.
Sycamore.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon, Sycamore.
Sycamore and Stone.
Suck.
But I just thought it was so cool. And this guy, he was like, I heard him at one point. He was like, "Hon," he's like, "Look at these. These are awesome." As he was like putting together his wreath.
And he was the only dude there?
Only dude. Him and Jeff. Jeff was there taking some videos and hanging out. He was the only dude there, but he was awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeff's a great guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad it went. How many people were there? It looks like it was packed.
It was. We had like 3 long tables filled with people. And the shop is also great too, because it's all of Jeff's handmade work, his woodwork. And my cousin was with me, and she was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go look around." She ended up leaving with a kitchen table.
Oh my God! Stop it! Really?
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Wow.
Like little knickknacks, and
That's amazing.
she leaves at the kitchen table.
He presented the option when we redo our kitchen, because we have that sort of Victorian farmhouse sort of thing, the wood stuff. He's one to commission to do some of that.
Well, he actually does kitchen cabinets. Like if you like that old barn style look, he can make you kitchen cabinets.
Because we have a special cabinet for our eggplant on a stick.
Right.
And,
he makes eggplant on a stick cabinets. They're really nice. Custom made.
It's wonderful.
By the way, I have some names suggested by our listeners for Nick's restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So we have the Puree Cafe.
Yeah, I like it.
I like that
It's
one.
very,
that one's pretty good.
Rolls off the tongue.
Blendy Vetter.
Yeah, Blendy Vetter's good.
How about Glappy Frappe?
Glappy Frappe. Yes, that's it.
I like Nick McBlender Wayne.
Nick McBlenderwayne. That's not bad. Blenderina, all mixed up. That's actually a cute name.
All mixed up, yeah.
Rye Blend. Rye Blend.
Nick's Mix. That's pretty good.
Okay. We'll look for this
It's
down
the best.
road.
It's the best pureed potato place in town.
Steve, is the impetus of the restaurant eggplant on a stick and then the blenders on the side, or are we combining our forces here?
Well, if you mean like a Kentucky Fried Taco Hut, like that kind of thing, I think we could do that side by side. I think they complement each other. You come out after your nice tall glass of potato, and you're going to want your eggplant on a stick.
That's right.
For the drive home.
I've been told we need to wrap. We're going on Fox Good Day, right?
Yes, we are.
We have to go live on Fox Good Day. I totally forgot about that. All right, so we are going to take a break right now, but a reminder that we have Crumb Bum Cash coming up when we return, as well as Bizarre File and Fox 29. So we'll do that in just a moment. Please stay with us. Wasn't sure what to expect. I had heard Judas because we've been playing it, and I definitely like the song. And what did I come back and tell you guys?
So solid. This is
said,
real deal.
My word was it's legit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
because you have people who have a name from another entertainment industry or sports industry, and then they want to open the door and head down another path and try something out for a little bit, and most of the times that doesn't work. So I was pleasantly surprised when I listened to it. I'm like, okay, this is straight up. It's the real deal.
Well, it's cool. This is our 7th record, and we're almost like a 17-year overnight sensation at this point, which is good because I think over the years, slowly but surely, people have come to realize that, like you said, this is legit. This is the real deal. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this. I think every band has some kind of a gimmick when they start, whether it's Slipknot wears masks or Kiss has makeup or all these different things. Bottom line is, either it's good music or it's not. And it doesn't matter who's in the band or what the story is.
Yeah.
Either it's good or it's bad. And after all these years, people are finally going, holy smokes, Fozzy is legit. They make a judgment just because I'm in the band. Yeah. I think sometimes we have to work twice as hard to get people's respect because of that. We don't mind. Yeah. When I was 13 years old, I decided I wanted to be in a rock band and I wanted to be a wrestler. And people laughed me out of the building. I remember I went to church and told people, and people laughed me out of the church. Here I am all these years later doing both. I really don't care if people have a judgment about what I do or what I don't do. All I know is that this is good, and I know that people are embracing it.
Right.
If you have a passion and a desire and a talent to do more than one thing, especially in this day and age, it's okay. And if people don't have an issue with that, Paul Stanley said in this documentary that I watched, I probably told you guys this about the book. The only people that tell you can't do something are the ones that have failed. I'm not going to tell you can't do it because I did it. You can do it. And when Paul said that, I embraced that concept and went for it wholeheartedly. And here we are right now talking about this stuff, and it's a great feeling.
Well, I think in a way also you have the benefit of you had another. I'm not going to say a safety net, but you had another thing running that allowed you to just be tenacious, and that you're okay. You don't dig it now. We're going to keep doing it. We're not going to stop. And then, as you said, through attrition, people started to come on board. And this, as you described it, Judas is the game changer.
So is your time being on the mic and doing what you did in the ring helped you out with being able to talk to the audience?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I when I first started wrestling when I was 19, I wanted to be the ultimate rock and roll frontman in the wrestling ring. Paul Stanley, Freddie Mercury, Bruce Dickinson. I wanted to be like the frontman, the party host. And so I did that when I first started because I wasn't the biggest guy, but I knew I could have the biggest personality and the biggest charisma. So when we started Fozzy, I just took those same qualities that I was using as Y2J that I stole from great frontmen, like I mentioned, and then took it back into Fozzy. So it's very much symbiotic. That's a big word for a Canadian. But it all depends on connecting with the audience, whether it's wrestling or music. You need to connect with the crowd and let them know that you don't take yourself seriously. You take the music seriously. You have to have a good time. And when we go do these festivals, there's not a lot of bands that do that. It's very aggro. It's very mosh pitting and stuff. And that's fine. But for us, just drink some beer and chant Fozzy and show your boobs, whether you're a girl or a guy. We don't care. And that's when you get the connection. Let's, especially in this day and age with all the crap that's going on in the world, come to a Fozzy show, leave the BS at the door, and just have a good time, man. That's what it's all about.
Well, that's it. And we've said this, at least the very nature of our show is that if, over the years, we've heard other shows where it seems like they're pissed off all the time. Why would I want to listen to a show or go to a show where I think they're not enjoying what they're doing?
It's okay to smile and laugh. I think sometimes the word fun and rock and roll gets lost in the translation. Those are always my favorite bands where you can go and just have a good time, man. That's what it's all about. And it's kind of a lost art, and it's something that we take great pride in. We have a reputation for being that way. Is if you come to one of our shows, you're just going to leave with a smile on your face, and that's okay. It doesn't always have to be growling and angst and anger. Go to a Lamb of God show if you want to do that, and that's fine. But for us, we'd rather have some fun.
I know with all that going on, let's not take our eye off the ball here, folks. There's a new Miss America. They had in Atlantic City, obviously, is where the pageant takes place. So they had taken it away for like a couple of years, right? And then they brought it back. I just don't hear about it anymore.
Guys, afterwards. We used to watch it.
It was a big deal.
Years ago, it was massive.
Yeah.
And it's just now, I think internet porn took care of that.
But we have a couple of clips from it. We have... Well, do you want to hear the winner? Let's hear the winner first.
All right.
Miss North Dakota.
Your new Miss America is Miss North Dakota.
So Miss North Dakota.
Miss North Dakota took it.
Attractive young lady, as you would imagine.
Wants to be the governor.
Yes,
eventually. That's her aspiration.
Yep, that is
correct.
correct.
The highlight for the evening was the talent portion, especially Miss Louisiana.
All right, here we go.
Lucky Lucy, are you ready? Yes. Hit it.
Heard it. I'm ready to talk now, and I cannot see your listening. What was that? I said I can't see your listening. Yeah, let's load Heard it. Sound good to me.
You betcha. It sure does sound good, doesn't it, to be here in front of all these nice people?
It's a dream come true.
What was that?
It's a dream come true.
What was that? It's a dream come true.
She just gives up.
God damn it, I said it's a dream come true.
She's getting mad at herself.
I suck.
slams the dummy on the ground.
Freaking thing. To be here in front of all these fine people and mid-level celebrities is such a thrill. What are we gonna do?
We're going to entertain you.
What's that?
We're going to entertain you.
What's that? We're gonna entertain the people.
What I said is, if you just listen for a effing second, we're going to entertain the people. She's gorgeous, though.
She's stunning.
Yeah,
We're looking at a still shot of her.
She's a
with
Miss
her-
America contestant.
Yeah, with her two ventriloquist dummies.
And dummies.
Oh, we haven't even heard the clip yet. Are you ready?
You good people ready?
Lucky Lucy, are you ready? Yes. Hit it. I wanna be a cowboy sweetheart. I wanna work the road and ride.
All right, I'll let it play. Hang on a second.
I wanna ride on the plains of the desert, out west of the Great Divide. I wanna hear the coyotes sing as the sun sets in the west. I wanna be.
Honestly, where is this? Where does this fly? I think if you come in before someone's receiving a lethal injection, it's like
you might have it.
Before you get the shot, we have a ventriloquist actually, and they're going to give me the shot. Give me the shot.
All right, we haven't even gotten to the yodeling part yet. Hang on.
Oh, there's yodeling?
Yeah, there's yodeling. Apparently, there's yodeling.
All right.
Cowboy sweetheart, that's the life. I love the best.
Oh my God!
At that very moment, half the judges were booking flights to Naples, Florida.
Right. Wow, look at how hot she is.
Super
We're looking
hot.
at that video footage of her now. She's wow, she's a stunner. And that's Miss who?
That is Miss Louisiana.
Miss Louisiana. Okay. Nick had sent me some information about this guy. His name was Xavier Atencio.
And he invented Leopold the FBI cat?
No, he did not. He was the Disney Imagineer who helped bring to life iconic theme park attractions such as Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion. And he passed away just this last Sunday, and he was 98 years old.
So when I was a kid, for a brief period when I was in third grade, which would have put me, I would have been about 17. We went out to live in California for almost a full year. And going to Disneyland, the Disneyland, there was no Disney World at that time. Those attractions were, you as a kid, you might as well have been transported to another universe.
You couldn't
It was
believe it.
just mind-boggling. And they just actually sort of re-tinkered Pirates of the Caribbean because of PC questions, but it's still essentially the same ride there.
He also wrote the lyrics to their memorable songs, Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life. He wrote that.
Did he write It's a Small World? No, that's from
he didn't. But he wrote Grim Grinning Ghost that they sing on the Haunted Mansion tour as well. In the mid-1960s, Atencio's career changed course, and Walt Disney called him into his office and asked him to join the Imagineering unit that created theme park attractions. He said, I went over there reluctantly because I didn't know what I was getting into, and nobody there knew what I was supposed to do either. About a month later, I got a phone call from Walt. He told me, I want you to do the script for the Pirates of the Caribbean.
This is a great opportunity, and if you don't do it, you're fired.
And he said he had never written a script before the Pirates assignment. Pirates was the last ride that Walt Disney would directly supervise. Disney died December in 1966, just 3 months before the attraction. It never really opened. He died before it opened.
It's amazing.
But Atencio helped him to experience it in a way. He said, we mocked it up on a soundstage in full size, and we pushed Walt through it. We rigged up a chart.
What am I looking at here?
We rigged up a cart that moved about the same pace
I
that
can't see.
the boat would, and we moved it through.
This hurts my back substantially.
And we had the auctioneer.
Why are you doing this to me?
And we had the auctioneer up here, and he said, what do ye offer this buxom wench? And then on the other side, a pirate yells, 6 bottles of rum, et cetera, et cetera. He said, but it was hard to hear. And I said, I'm sorry, Walt, you can't hear the stuff too clearly. And he said, if you go to a cocktail party, you tune in on one conversation, and then you tune in on that one. Every time they come through, they'll see something new. And I thought, why the heck didn't I think of that? That is Xavier Atencio.
A pirate's life for me.
So he wrote wrote
We
this.
kindle and char, inflame and ignite. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We burn up the city, we're really a fright. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho.
We burn up the city.
Yeah,
we burn up the city and rape the people and kill everyone who won't come along. We slit their throats and throw them overboard and turn them into shark bait.
Yeah, exactly.
Me hearties, yo
Confiscate
ho.
the children and make them slaves.
Up the city, we're really a fright. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We're beggars and fighters and ne'er-do-well cats. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Allow me to laugh at mummies and dads. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Yo-ho, a pirate's life for me.
And we're all half crazy because of syphilis.
Drink up, me hearties, yo ho.
The robot, you know, with the mouth. And we're all half crazy because of syphilis.
But you're right. They burned down the town.
Burn down the town and kill the animals and sexually abuse the women.
And ravage and don't get a hoot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho.
Pirate's life. When you,
Yeah.
I think that's
The
how the
salty old sea.
I think that's how the first movie ends, with Johnny Depp saying, "Drink up, me hearties, yo ho."
Oh, really?
I think that's the last line of the movie.
hearties, yo Yeah, he's doing that freaking Jack Sparrow impression.
No, he needs to be just Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be? Yeah.
We come into town and rock around. Visit the Viper Room.
I noticed that it's very hard to swat a fly.
Oh,
They move so fast.
well, I
3 WMMR.
nailed it.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Any moment now, we're going to hear some music swelling, which means we're going on Fox Good Day. Here we go.
All right, 7:56. We're taking a look at Citizens Bank Park. What a night last night as we get ready to talk to Preston and Steve. Were you guys there?
We were not. Nick McElwain and Marissa Magnotta both went to the game last night, and the weather was great. The game was great, so it was a beautiful night in Philadelphia.
It certainly was. And I want to bring this up because, Nick, you were popping champagne yesterday. Isn't it a little early for that? I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait a
listen,
minute.
Alex, if you're going to tailgate, you might as well do it with a little bit of class. And so we brought a bottle of champagne just to toast the postseason. And I had a great time with your buddy Bob Kelly. He was there last night, too. So it was a really great night. And as Preston said, just a perfect night for baseball. It was awesome being in South Philly.
And not just any champagne. I mean, Moet. I mean, that's like...
Completely.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify.
Right.
It's not no Corbels or anything.
No, there's no swill involved.
Well, you guys are good neighbors in that regard. So that's what we're talking about today, is how sometimes we do things, and you don't always think about it, that is annoying to our neighbors. Do you guys have anything like that? For me, it might be my dog's not exactly that friendly. So
well-
my neighbors don't necessarily love her.
When I come in early, so I leave the house at about 4:15. I fire our cannon. No, I
don't like that.
I honestly, we thought about this. I'm an exemplary neighbor. I do not want to be. We're very conscientious of our neighbors around us, and so no, and we try to accommodate the little life things. Preston, do you have an issue? I know you have a Hatfield and McCoy situation.
No, I don't. No, you know what, Karen, it's funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, our dogs are yippy. We have small dogs, and they bark a lot, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, even our neighbors who've been there for years, they bark at them, and I've given up. And it's got to annoy everybody. It annoys us, actually. But there's another thing that I do. So I'm an avid golfer. I play regularly. I'm a low handicap golfer, so I'm decent at it. And I like to chip golf balls in my backyard. And there's a spot, I have like this little 25-yard area to play with, and I hit from my backyard over to, I have a little patch of grass that's over by my driveway, and I have to land it just right, because if I don't, it hits my driveway and shoots out into the road and can actually end up at my neighbor's house in their yard across the street. Now, I haven't hit any moving cars yet. I've come very close.
It's going to happen.
Even though I'm a decent golfer, it's eventually going to happen. So I know that's got to bother some people, but I've got my game to worry about.
That's it, man. No neighbors complain yet?
Nope.
You're okay. Well, that's not too bad.
I don't make eye contact with my neighbors, so I've never heard any complaints yet.
That's another one is not saying hello. Well, now we always have the earbuds on, so even when you're walking the dog or you're out, like you're listening to like your podcast or talking on the phone all the time.
Well,
what are the other things? Your room there is when I have kids and like the balls are constantly going into the neighbor's yard, and I know one of them's annoyed. They're shooting them back over the fence.
Do you guys have that?
Yeah, I don't care about that. They knock on our door every time and say, our ball is in your backyard. I'm like, you don't have to knock. Go right into the backyard. It's okay. They're just kids playing ball.
But then speaking is a big deal because sometimes I feel like there are some neighbors where hey, how you doing? Others are like, okay, I'm just not going to look.
Yeah. There's some people who are just perpetually rude and just I don't care. I don't need a full dissertation or a TED talk, but a common civil. Hey, how are you? Good morning. That's nice.
Yeah, I've got some quiet neighbors down the street that don't really socialize, and I'm one of them.
Have you reached out to them? Have you tried to
really bother me?
Yeah. Have you ever tried to reach out to them? Have you ever tried to set their lawn on fire?
No, not yet. Not yet. No.
Just like a half wave or something.
Yeah, just like hi, burned into their lawn. I think that's a nice touch.
That's one way.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Guys, we will see you later. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Yes, we need to do this now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve.
93.3 WMMR, Philadelphia.
You're a real crumb bum.
It's time for a crumb bum cash keyword.
All right, and the word is believe. Believe. And you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter it. There are 3 ways for you to do it. You can enter it at WMMR.com or on the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in the company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure that you do answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com. It is sponsored by Horizon Services. Again, the word is believe, Believe. So make sure that you enter that now. Before we get to the bizarre file, Steve, you wanted to mention an event that's coming up.
Thank you. It's Kegs for Cats. It is this Sunday. It is from noon to 3. It benefits Morris Animal Refuge and their outreach for community cats. They do a wonderful program. So from noon to 3, as I said before, it is at the Philadelphia Brewing Company. Awesome place. It's going to be perfect fall day. It's before the game, so you can come down there, have a good party, and or you can watch it there if you want. The end result is you're going to have some great food from Algorithm, great beer from them. There's all sorts of raffle prizes and things going on. I'll be your host. There'll be kitties to cuddle. There'll be all sorts of raffle items to win and buy, and it'll be a great hang. So consider that. If you're not actually going to the game, you're not tailgating, but you want to still be a part of it, you can go down. It's Kegs for Cats. You can get ticket information at PrestonandSteve.com or MorrisAnimalRefuge.org or MaxFun.com. Tickets available all those different ways.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Just check PrestonandSteve.com. Absolutely.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Join Nick McElwain and Team Luke in the LLS Light the Night Walk on Saturday, October 28th at the Philadelphia Museum of Art Steps. And you can visit the events page on WMMR.com and join Team Luke or donate. Well, an expert hired to get rid of a snake seen slithering in a South Oklahoma City mobile home park found that the python was 13 feet long and had been in the neighborhood for around 5 months. Trevor Bounds of Redbeard Wildlife Control said, we're talking that thing has been eating possums, foot-long rats, and cats.
Well, besides the cats, Kathy, you're down with this snake. Yeah.
He said the mouth on that thing is the size of your foot, and when it opens up, you're going to be able to fit something pretty large in there.
13 foot.
Yeah, on Friday, the snake was seen in the Burntwood Mobile Home Park.
Is that where it lives?
And staff there told residents to be on the lookout throughout the week. Actually, yeah, it does. The alert sent also said that they would be taking care of it soon. Experts say that more than likely the snake was a pet that either got loose or the owner let it out. Redbeard Wildlife Control was hired and started to check out the snake last week. Bound said that it had been around that area since June and had survived since then. He said, we were using our thermal camera last week to find it, but because it's cold-blooded, we just had to look for an outline.
Yeah.
And the snake is an albino reticulated python, which is one of the world's largest species of snake. It looked to have crawled and survived underneath one particular mobile home. He said they can get up to 24 feet long if you let them. He said the body on the snake is like Mike Tyson's bicep, but 13 feet long. The picture of the snake was sent by staff, warning residents to look out if they see it in the neighborhood. It started causing problems, Bound said, when half of the cats in the neighborhood started going missing.
Oh, man.
Bound said that home is pretty long, and so getting 2 people in there in like a 1.5-foot crawl space to fight a 13-foot snake is just impossible. He said when we looked underneath the floor of the home it created, that's when we started seeing a bunch of carcasses of large animals. Wow.
Jesus.
Also,
What
Bryant,
a friggin' nightmare.
Bryant Elementary School is next to the mobile home park.
And the kids are small, too.
And a large portion of the land doesn't have a gate protecting the kids from a potential giant python. He said they have an animal that large, and I can imagine that each one of those cats put up a nasty fight. So when it's been attacked that many times and to that extent, the nice, non-aggressive pet snake we once knew is no more. This is dangerous now.
That's wild.
They've created a trap around the home. They have a 24-hour live feed watching it all the time. So it's there. They know it's there. They just can't get it out right now. That's crazy. Well, here's another animal story. A grizzly bear attacked and killed 2 people and their dog in Alberta's Banff National Park. Parks Canada said in a statement on Saturday night it had received an alert late Friday from a GPS device indicating a bear attack in the Red Deer River Valley. The bear was later euthanized after it displayed aggressive behavior. The victims were a Canadian couple and their dog, according to Kim Tickner, the founder of Bear Safety and More, and also a friend of the family. Tickner, who provides training on bear safety and bear assessment, said such encounters are increasing as more people head outdoors, but fatal attacks are rare.
Yeah.
There are about 60 grizzlies in Banff National Park and are considered to be a threatened population.
They're beautiful animals.
Wow.
You, the footage we had that you had in the bizarre file of the black bear just casually wandering past someone, just gently swipes the guy's gut, and there's 13 huge marks down his stomach. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Brutal. Horrifying.
Little lighter story. A man defrauded FedEx for over $400,000 over the course of several years, claiming that he had lost 67 packages, federal officials say. The Texas man was indicted on 9 counts of mail fraud in Tennessee, where FedEx is based, and each count carries up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. His lawyer declined to comment on the case. The 58-year-old from the Austin area filed reimbursement claims on 67 packages he claimed were lost. According to the indictment, from September 2019 to October 2022, the man deposited packages at FedEx drop boxes in Texas with fake information. Using the physical address and mail forwarding services and a fictional name for the sender, he created the appearance as sending packages from Arizona, California, Mississippi, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Washington State. He would then claim the packages had never been delivered. The packages contained little or no value, but the man said the value of the contents exceeded $8,000 when he filed for reimbursement claims.
Balls on some people, man.
If FedEx accepted the claim, which it did on 44 of 67 of the attempts, a check would be sent to the mail service address and forwarded to the man. The 9 packages listed in the indictment were processed at FedEx's Memphis hub.
You'd think a red flag would have gone up earlier than 44 packages.
Yeah, FedEx paid the man $402,460, which comes out to an average of $9,147 per package. So
gosh,
he was busted. But
very unlucky.
Yeah, he had a lot of money that he had managed to steal. All right, this story's in San Francisco. A store clerk in the East Bay was reportedly set on fire by an alleged shoplifter during a confrontation last month.
This is horrifying footage. Did you see it?
Yes. Surveillance footage shows the clerk, identified only as Siraj, grappling with a man in Appian Food and Liquor. During the fight, Siraj's head catches on fire, and he runs off camera while others confront the attacker. Siraj said another employee had alerted him to the suspected shoplifter. He said the employee told him that the man had stolen lighter fluid from the store earlier in the day. When Siraj confronted the man, he said the man splashed lighter fluid on his face and set him on fire. Siraj, speaking from a hospital bed, said, I tried to cover his hand, but I don't know. I don't remember. He just lit the fire on me, and I just rushed to the restroom and I splashed water on my face. He's been hospitalized since September 22nd and will need several surgeries to repair the 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his face, neck, chest, and shoulder. They arrested a 38-year-old man in connection with the attack and said he is being held without bail on charges including assault with a deadly weapon, battery, arson, and robbery as well.
That's been a brutal run of stories here.
Yeah, totally. You know what? Lately, over the past week or so, it's been a lot of pretty intense, brutal stories. So I try to put in some other ones that I can find. But
Well, I blame the snake.
there's been a lot of strange things taking place, and some of them are pretty violent. All right, and that's it. That's what I have in the bizarre file. But Casey gives me something right now to give to you.
What?
I have a pair of passes and complimentary concessions for an advanced screening of Netflix's newest comedy, Old Dads. This is Bill Burr's directorial debut.
Yeah.
This will be October 16th at 7 o'clock at the Bryn Mawr Film Institute, and Casey will be hosting it. So we'll take caller number 12, and we will give you a pair of passes, 215-263-WMMR. Old Dads is going to be available on Netflix beginning October 20th, so you can go to WMMR.com if you want more chances to win tickets. But we'll take that 12th caller, and we'll give that to you. Remember, it's for Monday, October 16th, 7 p.m. at the Bryn Mawr Film Institute, and Casey will be hosting that. We're going to break. When we come back, we're going to have comedian Arden Myrin in our studio, who's going to be at City Winery next Thursday.
Excellent.
Back in a moment. Stay with us.
Science.
I have a theory, too. What is yours?
You, in many ways, it's like sex. You come down the back from behind the eyesight, doesn't go all the way back to the back.
Okay.
So that's how I come in for the SWAT.
My theory is, if you're just sitting there and one lands on your leg or something like that,
you ain't gonna win.
You don't move. No, right. I have a way to do it. I slowly will bring my hand into position, and then I will wait and I will watch the fly. And once the fly starts doing that thing with its front two little hands, it starts rubbing them together, because at first it'll notice your hand and it'll stop.
That's when it gets all greedy.
Freeze and won't move. Yeah. And then when it starts going about its business, it is now not necessarily paying attention to your hand anymore, and then nail them. I'm a fly hater, and I actually keep a scoreboard at my house for dead flies. That's cool. Everybody's name is on there.
I notice there's a fly hater too.
And if you get them, you get a hash mark for everyone that you get.
He actually keeps score.
I should have done a prize at the end of the summer, but I never got around to doing that. But anyhow, so here's the deal. This question, why do they move so fast, flies, was put to the BBC World Service crowd science team. And the answer is that, compared to us, basically, they see things that they see things essentially what we see in slow motion. So they see the world moving.
This guy's wearing a bucket hat.
Much slower. The speed of time differs depending on your species. This happens because animals see the world around them like a continuous video, but in reality, they piece together images sent from the eyes to the brain in distinct flashes a set number of times per second. And I'll explain that. So humans average 60 flashes per second and flies 250. The speed at which those images are produced by the brain is called the flicker fusion rate.
Flicker fusion rate.
Yes.
Flicker.
And it's weird how they were able to determine this. So in general, the smaller
Did
the
they
species,
capture a fly and interrogate him?
the faster its critical flicker. They put a light in front of him.
Please, I don't know. I'm so thirsty.
He starts smacking him around.
No. Oh, no, please. Come on. I'm just a fly.
In general, the smaller the species, the faster its critical flicker fusion rate is, and flies in particular.
Critical
put us to
flicker
shame.
fusion rate.
Yeah, so Professor Roger Hardy from the University of Cambridge investigates how flies' eyes work and has
It's actually very interesting when you stop and consider it.
And has an experiment to determine their flicker fusion rate. So it's simply how fast a light has to be turning on and off, that's the flicker,
right,
before it's perceived or seen as just a continuous light. So like a flashing strobe light, okay?
Right, so even though
you can tell when it's going off and on, but at some point you can't, even though it is going off and on.
Right.
So so what they did is they insert tiny glass electrodes into the living light-sensitive cells of their eyes.
Of a fly's eyes.
Photoreceptors.
How did they do that?
Before flashing LED lights at faster and faster speeds. Each flash of the LED produces a tiny electrical
I
current.
assume ladybugs come in nurse outfits.
In the photoreceptor.
That'd be hot.
Hey, up here, buddy. Up here. Here's where the 10,000 eyes are.
Each flash of the LED produces a tiny electrical current into the photoreceptors that a computer can graph onto a screen. Tests reveal the fastest fly record distinct responses to flickering up to 400 times per second. Yeah, but I'm amazed at modern science and the fact that they can actually take something that tiny like that and actually
How did they get them to sit still to put those things in their eyes?
The chair is very comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable. They get a little foot
Well, this
masseuse.
is good. What is this? Oh my God! Look at this. The feet come up.
And they have them relax. Somebody said that's why electricity cycles at 60 hertz per second, or HZ. Is that hertz per second?
It just hurts.
Oh, 60 hertz?
It hurts.
God, would you stop it already?
We're morons.
All right. I have a list of things from various magazines of suggestions of what to do. For your fall activities.
Local or anywhere?
No, this is just anywhere.
Okay.
But no, these are stupid. A pumpkin spice latte date.
Oh, my God.
Treat your bestie to a PSL.
Bestie.
Wait, what's
a PS? A pumpkin
I know.
spice latte.
Okay.
I know.
And
Yes,
spend.
I just wanted to let you know that your list stinks.
How about dinner and a fall-themed movie?
That's ridiculous.
All right, what's
Throw
the-
that list out.
What's
How
a
about buy
fall-themed
some
movie?
orange crayons and rub it on a piece of paper?
Honestly,
How about wait for them to come in and relax the straps on your hands?
Bacon apple pie together.
That's
okay.
What if you're not together? What if you're alone?
How about this? Watch a football game. These are just ridiculous. These are like out of like Allure magazine or
yeah,
Or
right.
how about look out the window at your neighbor's house?
Honest to God, like somebody actually got paid to do that.
They needed an extra page in the magazine.
Here's a good fall activity.
Walk to the
for
end
you.
of your driveway, turn around, and go back.
From the mind of Preston Elliott, do one of the train rides that are available in our areas. That would be cool, right?
Yeah.
There's one out of New Hope.
That's just all over the place.
What is it?
SEPTA is all over the place.
This is so scenic.
Is that
Hey, man, I'm sorry I pissed on you.
Yeah, especially the houses that live right next to the train tracks. Those are always lovely.
Strasbourg is the one you're thinking of.
Strasbourg.
Or is that that's the best in the area, right?
They have the ghost train. It's like the old style locomotive. That's
No.
out by Lancaster.
And didn't we have a Not Your Average Listener? Was she from?
She was an engineer.
Yeah,
An engineer,
for them. Yeah.
That was cool.
And
That
that
was
one
really
that one
cool.
goes for about 40 minutes. From what I understand.
something like that, yeah.
40, 45 minutes.
Most
okay.
of them are like a half, anywhere from like 40 minutes to an hour.
That's still cool.
But
yeah.
Case, along the lines of what you were saying, and if you're in Jersey, New Jersey Transit.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Does SEPTA
Listen,
go over
it's
there?
not exactly the same experience, but the buses are always a blast.
This also says have a fall photo shoot.
Oh, I'm doing that.
What? Who put this together? Sling Blade?
We're doing a family
I
photo
got some
shoot.
great ideas for all of them.
No, don't make fun of that one.
Go outside looking out there, the raccoons out in the field.
So you're doing a fall photo shoot?
Yeah,
Family
we're doing
photo shoot?
it, Steve, on Forbidden Drive.
Yes, it'll be. Yeah, I'd love to. Forbidden Drive is close to me. Huh?
Actually, that's a good idea.
Do you want to bring us hot chocolate in the morning?
I will absolutely with spice latte. SP. What is it?
SPL.
PSL.
PSL.
Look, I brought some SPLs.
SPL.
Look, I brought some Silent but Deadlies.
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice latte.
I brought some
Penis.
SPLs.
What did I say?
Silent but Deadly. SPDs.
DVD.
CVDA.
I brought some DVDAs, everybody.
PSLs is
And lube.
Just replace
DSL
with
is something
penis.
very different.
Yeah.
What?
All right, hang on.
Just say the letters. The letters aren't profane.
No, but I'm just saying.
You
well,
won't
you know
know.
what DSL, right?
Oh, yeah.
But a PSL.
D
just,
sucking lips.
yeah.
Okay.
So now you're P sucking.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, guys.
We used to say
it's a
DSB,
little-
deadly sperm buildup. If you hadn't gotten laid in a year.
Oh.
Yeah. I have
Happy
DSB.
year.
man.
Where's that taking
My
place?
pupils are white.
We are all. This is.
We are.
This is.
This is it.
we're
These are
off the
fall
rails.
activities.
We are off the rails.
I just want to know when
Yes,
you're
I'm
doing.
interested in where the DSL is taking place. I believe I qualify.
I definitely
Romano,
qualify.
ROMANO.
That was my nickname, by the way.
What?
Are you kidding?
Shut up. DSL?
My girlfriends would call me that. Yes.
Wow.
How ironic.
That is.
No, I wasn't actually using.
I
them for
know.
that,
That's the
but,
definition of irony. It's. Oh my God.
It does, yeah. That's like talk about Sling Blade. That's like nicknaming him the Brain.
Right.
Hey, genius.
DSL.
That's funny.
Wow, we still find things out about each other after all these years. So, the Warner Brothers movie A Star is Born remake is pushing its release to May 18th, 2018 from September 28th through
Why is that?
2018. You know what? They don't really give a reason why, but they're moving it up.
This is Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, exactly. Cooper plays Jackson Maine, who discovers a talented unknown named Allie, that's Lady Gaga, Her eventual fame puts a strain on their romance, and previous versions include the 1937 film starring Frederick Mark and Janet Gaynor.
And the one with James Mason, where I played Norman, Maine.
Yeah, in 1954.
Judy Garland's Esther Blodgett.
Yes, James Mason and Judy Garland.
It was the first time. It was a musical version, and that was the first time.
It was a musical?
The original was not.
Oh, okay. Like they sang.
They sang. There were songs sung.
But did they sing?
Often.
Did they sing dialogue to each other, or was it just songs were in it?
There were songs performed.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mason. And have some Thunderbirds.
Yeah, thank you. When friends drop by unexpectedly, I break out the Thunderbird and beef jerky.
Beef jerky?
Absolutely. Okay. And everyone leaves with a small Tupperware container full of taco dip.
Oh.
That's how we roll at the Mason house.
Do we still have the Thunderbird? See if you can find that audio. Look up James Mason and Thunderbird, which was basically Thunderbird is like the malt liquor that you'll find, discarded bottles of in
alleyways.
And here it is. Yes.
I like the unusual flavor of Thunderbird wine. It's an exceptionally good drink for every occasion. Thunderbird has an unusual flavor all its own.
Unusual flavor. What I imagine perhaps a sloth seminal fluid to taste like.
Oh, my God. Wow.
That's unusual for sure, as I'm only guessing, having not ever gone down on a sloth. Unusual for sure.
Nobody's ever said that.
Oh, my God. I'm wheezing like crazy. Oh.
Not quite like anything I've ever tasted.
It actually physically sticks in my teeth, which you don't find in most liquids.
I suggest that you try Thunderbird. It's really delightful.
Best way to get rid of unwanted friends.
This is peak lazy. Walmart has revealed it is testing a service in Silicon Valley that delivers groceries straight into customers' refrigerators.
They'll pack your fridge for you?
Yep.
They'll pack your ass, Preston.
You moving? Bend over and I'll pack your
All
ass.
right,
for
is
you.
this because,
help you pack your ass?
Amazon, you have Amazon is like pantry or whatever, and then Amazon Fresh, where they deliver it to your
How about
doorstep.
Amazon Rectum, where they actually feed you the food and then push it through your...
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
So the problem we have with the Amazon Fresh isn't really anything except for the fact that when they pack the frozen food and the perishable foods, they have ice packs to keep it fresh. Now we have 70.
You don't have to
we
keep
have
them.
70 ice packs.
You don't have to keep them.
Right?
You
Do
can
you know what?
actually throw some of them out
If you
you
can,
want.
drop them off at retirement homes. They love to play with them.
Wait a minute. So you feel obligated to keep them all?
Well, all right. So they did come in handy for the shore this past summer.
I keep a couple of them.
Yeah, we kept a whole bunch in the freezer. So when we would take a cooler down to the beach or whatever, but
can't you return them?
I guess you could.
It's just plastic with water in it.
Oh, all right.
It's not,
by the way, what is it just plastic with water in it? Because those things stay frozen for days.
No, yeah. Poke one open, drain it out.
Drink it.
Drink it.
No thanks.
And then
Yeah.
no, I'm saying if you want to get rid of them, and then throw it in the recycling.
But
Isn't
my
it
point is I don't
airline
think-
employee semen? Is that what it is?
I don't think it's just water. I will bet you.
Oh,
What?
that would be a great idea.
wait a
I will
Okay.
bet you. WMMR.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Our next guest comes bearing gifts this morning. She will be appearing at the City Winery next Thursday. There's a show at 7:30. Tickets available at citywinery.com. We'd like to welcome Arden Myrin. Show this morning. Wonderful. How are you, Arden?
I'm so good. I'm happy to be here. And yes, I do come bearing gifts.
Yeah, you brought stacks of tasty cake boxes.
Okay, well, I'm friends with Kate Flannery, who's plays Meredith on The Office, and she knew I was playing Philly, and she was like, first of all, you need your Philadelphia, you need your Phillies hat.
Right.
So I've got my Phillies hat. Go Phillies. And then she was like, and you have to eat some tasty cakes. Now,
You had not had before?
I grew up in Rhode Island. My dad's actually, he grew up in Philadelphia when he was a kid, but he moved out of here. And so I never have had tasty cakes, never in my whole life.
It's kind of a necessity.
I love sweets. I am a monster. So I mean, I'll probably have to like eat these out of my tray. I'll throw them away and I'll eat them all anyway. And so I mentioned this to Meredith, and I was like, I've never had a tasty cake, and she came with her 14-year-old son last night. Picked out. I have 8 boxes. So
one of each.
They're stacked apparently to Casey's preference.
Yeah.
Right.
And he told me off air that you have to freeze it and eat the cake first, then the icing, then you do the second one, then you put all the peanut butter together. His favorite one is, he said, don't call it tasty cake, call it candy cake.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're not cool if you call it tasty cake. So is it peanut butter candy cake is number 1? Is that correct, Casey?
That's my number 1.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
then
it always has been, always
And
will
then
be.
number 2 is cream-filled buttercream cupcake.
That's a good one.
Would you guys agree with his assessment so far?
He's pretty good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, and then number 3 is a classic crimpet.
Classic crimpet. Love it. Yep.
Okay.
No, that's not a classic crimpet.
No, this one has cream. I've
That's-
heard.
yeah,
I've
You gotta
learned
have
that
the
also.
jelly,
I was
yeah.
like, you're not classic if you got cream. So, believe me, I think I'm not a loser. I grew up in Philly, obviously. I'm not a loser. I'm not going to eat it with cream. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna try one.
Well, you know, it's funny because I used to. I was a fan of yours on Mad TV and was aware of your work, and I've seen you around all different things and on podcasts and Andy Cohen and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't realize you said Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And the town is Little Compton.
Yeah.
Rhode Island, and I thought that was a joke.
No, I'm straight out of Little Compton.
Straight out of Little Compton.
Yeah.
And it's a Currier and Ives rustic seaside. Gorgeous little town.
It's dead gorgeous, Steve. It's a gorgeous little town. It does not have any stoplights. It has a general store. Yeah. It's literally, there's not even a mayor. And so it's a tiny town called Little Compton, Rhode Island.
Wow.
It's bananas. My parents, they married on a dare, and they moved to this town.
What?
And my grandparents met in Philadelphia, and they married 24 hours later in Delaware because you didn't need a blood test to get married.
They got married the day after they met.
Yeah. So I'm the result of 2 very hasty decisions.
Wow.
So let's see if I don't know, anything's possible this week. If you guys come to City Winery, who knows? Maybe we'll get engaged.
I want to see that family reunion. You trying to taste a cake?
Arden's going to try the tasty cake.
All right,
Which one?
I'm starting with number 1. I'm not going to go against my new friend, Casey.
Thank you.
I'm sorry it's not frozen. Okay, here we go.
So you're going with a candy cake instead of
Ooh.
a tasty cake. Okay.
Peanut butter one.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Arden, so my cousins grew up in Los Angeles, right? And they never had access to tasty cakes. So when we would come visit them in LA or they would come and visit us in Philadelphia, it was required to bring boxes of tasty cakes, and they would stack up on them. And to Casey's credit, the best way to at least preserve them was put them in the freezer.
Freeze them. Yeah.
No, did you eat them frozen as well?
It depends. I mean, I like them fresh, but I don't disagree with Casey. I just think a good way to preserve them.
First of all, okay, here's my review. First of all, they're adorable. They're so cute. They're tiny. You know, this is not a giant chocolate aisle. This is not an unseemly devil dog. We're talking about a gorgeous, delicate little candy cake.
Right.
It's like the fun of a Reese's peanut butter cup, but with a donut involved.
It's whimsical.
Yeah.
It's whimsical.
Now, with all these references you're making, you're clearly a connoisseur of sweet things. You said you're a sweet fanatic. You weigh like 90 pounds, possibly. You're a tiny little thing.
She called herself a monster.
I am a
How
monster.
in the hell do you eat all this?
I'm not. I really shouldn't have sugar because I am like a fiend. But but you know what? Who cares? I'm on Preston.
To be honest,
I think your energy burns it all off. We can tell from your personality
You're
that.
the tiniest monster I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I would see you on TV, and I'm like, when you walked in, I'm like, dear God. I'm like, I didn't realize you were so petite.
Well, let's see what happens with these tasty cakes. I'm trying the cream-filled crimpet.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy! Wow.
Yeah.
I took a big bite for radio. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the commuters.
Do you need
That's
some?
so good.
you
It's
a-
so sweet. I'm like, my heart is going to explode out of my chest.
Well,
I like the peanut butter.
Do you think you and Kate will get together for tasty cake parties now?
You know what? I'm going to have to bring some back to her. I heard that you guys have a Flannery button because she swears. Is that true?
I'll show it to you. It's right over here on my console.
Yeah,
because she's the one who curses the most on
That
the
is
show.
so funny. I don't think of her as like a swear machine, but I'm here for that.
Yeah.
She is.
Yep.
Can you do me a favor? And this is probably sacrilege in this city, but You just did the cream-filled crimpet.
Yeah.
So can you go to the bottom,
Sure.
my least favorite of it, and it's not to say that I don't like it, it's just my least favorite, but that is, you need to do that juxtapose.
What is
All right,
that?
Here we go.
The
This
pumpkin.
is a.
It's the butterscotch
It's
crimpet.
a butterscotch.
I know.
You love it.
I love the
Do you want
butterscotch.
any of these? I'm not trying to.
No,
do you
I'm
guys
good,
want me to
thank you.
pass them down?
Yes.
You have a star guest arriving soon.
Yeah, we have
you don't
biscuits
wanna,
coming.
The biscuit lady's coming.
Yeah, Preston, it has the pumpkin on the label, but it's
Okay.
not pumpkin flavored.
Oh, wait. What you have to do, put the icing side down on the thing, and then rub it on the ground, because otherwise the icing will stick to the cellophane.
Rub on the
So you rub it on the ground. No, rub it on the counter.
Yeah, rub it on the counter like that.
Wow, this is, you know what? Fiend sees fiend. I see there's a fiend over there that we both, if we'd grown up in the household together, you would have had to bury me in a piano box. This is so good.
A piano box?
Yeah, like Walter Hudson, who is the largest man ever alive, was buried in a piano
This is
box.
so good. Here we go. Okay. Now, the monster in me thought I would have wanted the cream film.
Right.
I'm so sorry, Casey.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
It's sacrilege.
I think the butterscotch without the cream is better.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Do you have one available? Let me. I'll take a little bite because I want to refresh my memory. Yeah.
She only has 6 boxes left. So
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if you worked your way through them all yet.
I'm training. I'm in training for a triathlon. This is my fuel.
Yeah.
I'm the prote goat. Yeah, this is a whole situation. Yeah, I could not be more excited about trying this. Which one are you doing? Cream filled?
The one you just gave me.
No, it was
You
the
got both.
butterscotch crimpet.
You did.
The pumpkin I wanted.
No, it's not.
No,
That's
it's
the one
not
you
pumpkin.
got.
It
It's
just-
butterscotch. You
It
got
just has a pumpkin on the box.
We
It's
all got
butterscotch.
It's Halloween. I'm so sorry.
I do love the
Steve.
butterscotch, though.
It's
Thank
so
you.
good.
Yeah, it is very good. So,
It's a star.
so you mentioned your Swedish heritage,
I'm a Swedish gal.
right? What do you like from the Swedish cuisine? We tried
Nothing. I think
in
it's
Little Compton. There was nothing that
you know what? I feel like it's a lot of like fish. It's a lot of like canned fish. You know, nobody's like, oh, I'm just craving that
Yeah,
morning time. It's like the IKEA cafe, like a lingonberry. You know,
They,
Like-
I've been to Sweden a few times. They leave the heads on the shrimp.
oh yeah.
Do they?
And stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you're not going to Sweden for the gorgeous cuisine.
No, I had horse meat.
Oh, stop
in Sweden.
bragging.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. It
Was it?
like-
How did it? Was it gross?
I didn't even know I was having it at the time. The people that were there, here, try. You know,
They
we
fooled
made
you.
a sandwich for you, and they
Classic
were like, "Well,
Swedish
that's horse
bait
meat."
and switch.
But it was like deli meat,
Gross.
right?
That's so gross.
Yeah. So they have interesting taste.
Have you ever had Surströmming, the classic
Surströmming.
Yeah, which is we tried it. It's considered one of the most pungent, foulest foods. Apparently, it's basically the original Viking recipe.
Oh wow! Where
For-
did you have it?
We had it right here in the studio.
Was it so good? Kathy looks disgusted.
He says we tried it. He tried it.
You
I didn't
smelled
try
it, and you like yourself more than that. You're like, you know what? I like myself even more.
I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was potent. It was there's a lot of the food from that area is very powerful.
Yes, I have some Swedish, some Irish. You know, I wouldn't say people are like, oh, we're coming over for your like classic pasta dish. I'm doing my best. You know what I mean? I'm doing my best.
You got tasty cakes. Now.
I've got my tasty cakes. I'm going to try. I've not had a classic. I'm going to have a cheesesteak before I go.
Okay, so you Kate,
I'm doing it.
Did Kate recommend a particular place?
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a very loyal friend.
Yeah.
And when Kate Flannery tells you to do something, what am I not going to do it?
Yeah.
Obviously. She just said you have to get one. And then I learned that there was a classic place. And Meredith was like, that's too far. And I was like, well, I didn't even know that there was a place I was supposed to go to. So you could just lie to me and take me to like Subway or like, you know.
No.
Yeah, D'Angelo's. I don't know.
Don't go to Subway.
Yeah.
Don't go to Subway.
If you're in Philly, like treat yourself at an actual cheesecake. Cheesesteak
Okay.
place, yeah.
Okay, great.
I mean, it's silly and ad nauseum argument about the best one. Don't even bother. But Meredith, I'm sure if Meredith recommends a place, it'll be good.
Well, I have to say, having been in comedy for a long time, a lot of the funniest people I would say two of the funniest people I've ever met in my life are from Philly.
Oh.
Just coming up, Adam McKay.
Adam is a friend of the show.
Adam McKay, when I was 19 years old, I did Improv Olympic in Chicago. He was a member of the house team. And this is before he got to Second City. at the time, he was already the funniest person I'd ever met. Like he's so remains. And I feel like I've gotten to work with some of the funniest people on earth. And Adam McKay was already fully cooked at like 25. He was a genius. And so I would say I would say the funniest man and woman I've ever met are from Philly.
So the woman,
then the woman is Pam Brady, who she wrote on South Park. She wrote the South Park movie with them. She wrote Team America. There are certain names because it's a morning show that I can't say the names of songs that she wrote in those movies. Shut your beeping face, Uncle Beeper.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah, she helped write this, and she's so funny.
Didn't we talk to her years ago?
We talked to somebody who just referenced her and referenced the song titles. Team America is one of our absolute favorites.
I just rewatched little clips of I forgot about Matt Damon in it. Like it is so funny.
Wait,
Matt Damon.
It's brilliant, and if you watch the unedited version, and it's hard to believe that it was edited at all.
Right.
But the puppet sex scene is hilarious.
I've got to watch. No, truly, just the sheer fact, like those two minds, to me, like I feel like Philly, and I'm excited to come play with everybody here.
Yeah.
Like they're so unique. There's a scrappiness to them. They've been true to who they are the whole time,
and they're loyal. So Adam McKay is always donating to the Camp Out for Hunger, our big charity event. We have been massaging this over the years to get him to come to town to do a Step Brothers screening.
Oh my God.
With a Q&A afterwards, because that's another one of that movie is now iconic level.
I need to rewatch that.
Yeah.
I have not seen that. Does it hold up? Is it
so
still
the first time I saw it, I thought, okay.
Yeah.
And then on subsequent viewings, as with a lot of Adam's stuff.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh my God, this is effing hilarious.
I mean, I just rewatched Anchorman. It is so funny.
Yeah. And that was one of those, the first time I saw it, I'm like, I didn't even crack a smile.
Yeah.
And watched it a few more times, I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, it's like, and when you see, like, even just like Paul Rudd in it, or Steve Carell, who doesn't say much, he's playing such a dummy. The weatherman, he's like such a ding dong, and it's just, it's just, it is fun to watch how Adam has gone from. Like, he still has the swagger and the glint in the stuff that is, like, sort of fancier and Oscar nominated. Like that.
He's a heavy hitter now.
But it's still with that same, like, fearless joy. And I feel like Pam has that, too. And I think that's a lot of testament to they both are from the same area.
Let's talk about you, because you have a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
Sure.
I remember you from Mad TV. You have tons of impressions and great comedy. Your class was Ike Barinholtz, Jordan Peele, Michael Keegan Key, Bobby Lee. By the way, did Bobby Lee get naked all the time on the set?
Bobby Lee was naked all the time, and it was like hard to even be mad about it. Like he was joking that he was like free like a baby because he's shaped like a baby. It was like, and I remember like my mom came, and there was a young lady on the show who was very religious, and she was like, Bobby, and then like it was like he would always strip off his, and of course now it would be very bad, but like it was hard to be angry at Bobby Lee. So yeah, I was on the last 4 years of that, and then I did 100 episodes of Chelsea Lately.
Right.
With all sorts of people who've probably come through here.
Insatiable, right? Series on Netflix. But what you and I have to ask you about this, because you have the Will You Accept This Rose podcast.
Yes.
And so we have not dipped into that. We will weave in and out occasionally if something breaks through to the general.
Sure.
But my wife and I did sit down and watch
The
Golden Bachelor.
It's so good. They got it right.
And
Really?
and you know why? It is bittersweet.
Oh my God.
It is like I'm watching it. I'm watching the when those and correct me if I'm wrong on this. The regular Bachelor seems so superficial, and all of it is that way. And I guess that's what people love about it.
Sure.
But this almost seems like you're at the end of the run looking for love.
Yeah.
And so when he hands his rose out, it's almost like these poor.
Oh, that broke my heart.
Am I right on that?
Yeah, no, it was brutal. I have to say, like, watching it, and again, I have a comedy podcast about the Bachelor franchise, and we lovingly treat it sort of like a sporting event, like who's going to be, like basically who's going to the Super Bowl, who's going to be the final three.
Right.
But we make jokes about it. Watching the first 60 seconds of this, where you see this gentleman, he's a 71-year-old man, you see, they're in silence, put his hearing aid in, and then they start playing Cat Stevens. They paid for Cat Stevens. I was sobbing. I felt like they gave it dignity.
Yeah.
The women were so vibrant. And I agree with you. It felt hard to watch these beautiful, vibrant, fun women who should not be invisible in society.
Yeah.
Who are so just peppy and enjoying one another and beautiful. And to think that they haven't felt seen and then they're getting cast off, that was hard. That was hard.
It was what? Again, and the dude's there with the hearing aid.
I know.
By the way, he looks better than most people 30 years younger.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah. But the women are like, you could see that they were.
I know.
Where every idiot on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette says, I'm really here for love. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had. There's a case to be made. They might be on this show for love.
I was concerned with the woman that he gave the first impression rose to because now I'm so deep in the franchise. Historically, if somebody busts out the acoustic guitar night one, it's like, oh, they want a record deal. So like when he said, you look lovely, and she's like, wait, let me put this like acoustic guitar the size of a Kia, Forte on my lap, and I'm gonna sing a song to you. It was like, oh no, and she's like his number one pick. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he might have picked the one that's there to be on TV.
Yeah.
Any other woman.
Yeah, you just feel bad. But I just wanted to get your sense because I know you're kind of an expert on this. I'm like, am I weird to think this one actually has some legitimacy?
I actually thought it was very heartwarming. I felt like he did it right. He seems like a nice guy, and I think it's lovely. And I hope they let one of the women be the Bachelorette and have men compete for them.
Right.
I think a lot of the women, I haven't watched the show yet, but it would probably somebody's going, Grandma, you should do that.
Yes. Yeah. No, you know it. And a lot of them, like in his case, he's a widower. So, and a lot of them have this similar story. So that's like, and I think all the critics are sort of saying the same thing too.
I sobbed. I stopped recounting it.
Oh my God.
No rain shall fall on Gary on my watch. I loved him. I wish all the women well. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Nick just pointed this out to me. I did not realize you were new Monica on Shameless.
I'm new Monica on Shameless.
That show is so messed up.
Dude, I auditioned for it. I was like, I'm never gonna book that. It was like for somebody like 20 years older than me, like a hot mess. I was like, well, I have nothing to lose, so I lined my. I went in, auditioned on Warner Brother a lot, like. I put just like Vaseline in my hair. I lined my eyes with red lipstick, lip liner, and I looked so strong. I put Blistex, like mascara on, and then Blistex. So I looked like I'd been up for like 5 days. Like I've been at the Tasty Cake Factory eating my way out on like a long weekend. I'm covered in peanut butter, and so I stumbled in. And again, I had nothing to lose. I went for it, and then I got it, and then it started the next day, and I was like. Yeah, and I was like, there I am. That's
oh my God.
I loved that show. Like it just was. I didn't think it could get any worse, and as the season went on, it just got worse.
Frank.
Oh my God.
He was. I have to like William H. Macy was so sweet. Like, but you're not allowed to bring your cell phone onto set, which is the only set I've ever been on, which I loved because it forces you to be present. And he would bring his ukulele and just like sit and play his ukulele between takes. And yeah, he
seems like the antithesis of that character.
Yeah, he was a real gentleman. Yeah. But it was fun because I came from an improv background, and he, I would never go on to like a show like that and go riffing, but he was like he wanted to play, and so if somebody keeps talking, I can hit the ball back, and so that we had a good time together. I think for that reason.
That show is so well written that it seems like it's not written at all. Like the way that the acting is done, it just seems like they are the biggest degenerates on the planet.
Yeah.
And but it's just so clever in that it seems genuine. It seems real.
Well, what was also interesting, that was the only set I've ever been on where you weren't allowed to bring your script onto set. And they didn't even hand you, like, you could not have any pages.
No cell phone, no script.
No cell phone, no script. You had to come, which was a little nerve-wracking because I've always memorized, but like, he wanted to have the respect of the script. Like, you better come ready to go.
Wow.
Whose rules were those?
John Wells, who, and I think, because they call them sides. So it's basically when you go shoot for the day, a script, they make them small.
Yeah.
And he said when you make them small, then people treat them like they don't have value. And so like the idea being you should come honoring the script. You should come off book. You should be ready to work. And I thought that set a really cool tone.
Well, you're a writer yourself.
Yeah.
You've sold a few shows, right? So that has to resonate with you. You put the work in, it should mean something.
And you want to be respectful. You know, I've been like, I came through sitcoms and I've done a bunch of plays and stuff. And
you did Steve Martin's play, didn't you?
I did. I did the pre-Broadway run. I played the part that Amy Schumer won the Tony for. I originated it at the Long Wharf, and it was fun working with Steve Martin because, you know, growing up, he was it for my brother and I. We had the Best Fishes poster with the fish head. So I was a super fan of his, and
it had to be wild.
It was actually nerve-wracking. I was just saying to my friend about sometimes getting to do this for a living. I get a little social anxiety with people. Like, I get nervous, and so it's like the thrill of booking it, and then the terror of actually meeting your idols. I'm sure. I mean, maybe you guys are so used to meeting everybody.
Well, we had a Seinfeld interview yesterday, and Seinfeld doesn't do a lot of interviews, and so I wouldn't say that we were nervous, but you want to put your best foot forward, and it's the same thing.
Well, we only meet them for like a few minutes at a time. If you're going to be working with someone,
it's a
whole different story, you know?
Well, he invited us all out for dinner, and I remember being like, "What do you eat in front of Steve Martin? How do you eat
tasty cakes?"
Exactly. I came armed with I had a bucket of tasty cakes.
Snails.
I brought everything, and then back to your point, like with I made sure that. You know, it was a 4-person play, and it was like the lead part, and my character was never off stage. And I was filming Shameless at the time, and I remember hiring my friend just to I wanted to go word perfect off book to respect, because I know that just reading his book, Steve Martin's book, about how he's very meticulous in his writing, and so I wanted to make sure that I was ready to play and get adjusted by one of my heroes and not fumbling and kind of riffing on the idea of what his line was. And I think that it takes away my nerves if I can sort of know that I've done the by rote, I know the words, and I can go play with you.
It's crazy because sometimes you'll hear of actors who are so committed that they know their lines. Yeah. They know everyone else's lines.
They're mouthing your words.
Yeah, right. And it's too much. So the experience, now he does Only Murders in the Building, which is awesome now with Martin Short. Are you on I could pick up the phone and call him level, or
no? I wish I could say that. I think I was deferential and kind and respect. He was there through all the rehearsals. If I saw him at a party, I would go talk to him.
Right.
But he's very private. You know, he was very private, which again, I'm thankful that I sort of knew that. You sort of, and I'm sure as you guys know, sort of let somebody set the tone.
Right. Your career in general, though, in your book, referencing back to your book, and I was reading some of the passages from it, and it's a very candid book, Little Miss Little Compton.
Yep.
And you talk about you had a sort of a problematic relationship with your dad.
Yep.
And the warts and all. Your mom, you obviously had a good relationship, but there were things that go into making you, but you also apparently. You'd kick Courtney Cox in the face at one point.
I did.
Explain what happened.
Thank you for asking. This was another one. Sometimes when you book things, you have a little bit more of a delay, but I auditioned for Friends. It was the last year they did Friends. I was on the episode that Sean Penn was on. So it was so I played the maid that they thought stole Monica's jeans for the Friends lovers out there. But it was season 9, and they had it down, you know what I mean? And I had a lot of props. So I was they wouldn't rehearse a ton, and you're doing it in front of a live. So I had buckets and feathers, and the idea being she was going to prove that I'd stolen her jeans because there was an ink spot on the crotch, and I had to climb up onto the counter, and I'm dusting, and she has to put her head between my legs to look and see. But we did not rehearse much, and I'm in the it's 2002. I'm in the Chunky's '90s Steve Madden boot, climbing around we'd run it once, and I'm with America's Sweetheart with her head between my legs, and I've got a feather duster, a bucket, and I kicked her square like in the head. Like, yeah, I kicked her.
And everyone always says when you join a show that's that far along, you can't help but already feel like an outsider.
Matthew Perry, thank God, would chat with me between because you're like, who do I eat lunch? Like, where do I sit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, it's the fun of like, just be cool. Like, half of this job is like, just present like you're self-contained. So there was a moment of like, is she going to get me fired? Like, and I just started, thankfully I had like complimented her earlier in the day. I'm like, oh, you're so great at physical comedy, Courtney Cox. Monica's like, she's the one, and like there was we made eye contact and like, I could see her dislike it. I kicked her in the face.
Yeah.
And she kind of like took a moment and I could see I got the governor's pardon.
She thought about it for a second and thought better.
Yeah. You know what? Kill 'em with kindness when you go in. Just being easy. It's like being a guest at somebody else's Thanksgiving. Just go in and be low key, be cool. If you've got food requests, bring your own things. You know what I mean? Just try to go be not a problem. That's like if you're gonna meet your idols, just sort of be not a problem.
You've been on so many shows. Obviously, your own. You've done Grey's Anatomy, Orange Is the New Black, and we were on the Gilmore Girls.
I was on
reboot?
I was on the original Gilmore Girls. I slept with Logan. I was one of the bridesmaids.
What season is this? Because this is currently being played in my household on a couple of different TVs.
I have no idea what season. I think towards the end, it was like a bridesmaid weekend. I was one of Rory's friends, and it's like, she sucks. I'm often a friendly villain, guys.
No, but that's so you have to have the Gilmore Girls has a ton of like pop culture convention sort of. I mean, there's a whole Gilmore Girls cult.
There's a whole and that I just did Mrs. Maisel this year, and like it's the same creators, it's the same sort of diehards. You have to be word perfect. Like you can't even on either of the shows if it says can't, you can't say cannot. It's like there's like a whole. I feel like I'm just I just operate out of memorizing and terror.
Memory and terror.
That's gonna be my next book. Is just a girl's life, memorizing and terror.
By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Arden Myrin who's here, and she's going to be at City Winery next Thursday for a show. Why are you in town so early if your show's not till next week?
I came to promote it. I came down from New York. I came to I took the train down.
We love you, though, for doing that. It's a cool thing.
I was delighted to be invited. It was my pleasure. An easy ride. It was an hour.
There you go.
That's not bad. You just came down here for cheesesteaks, tasty cakes, and biscuits.
Honestly, what else was I going to do?
There's your third book.
I'm obsessed with your T-shirt.
Oh, you like this?
Yeah.
She's talking about my back off war child seriously.
Oh yeah,
Back off war child seriously.
Is that from Point? Is that from
Point Break?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so a Patrick Swayze classic.
I just rewatched Ghost. That holds up.
Does it? I haven't watched that in ages.
If you don't listen, I don't care. You can try to hold out as much as you want, but if you don't cry at that,
you're a monster. You're a monster.
Although, speaking of the monsters, those shadow monsters.
Shadow monsters.
I always like that part of the movie. But
It's scary.
Are there screaming shadows?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they pull in other words,
Like on the train, right?
Yeah, if you're going to go essentially to hell or whatever, remember the bad guy who is trying to who cover up the death and all that.
He's a comedian who played the guy who both guys do. The one guy who who kills him.
Right.
He gets pulled
They
away.
drag him off.
Yeah.
And the shadows come out,
shadows,
and they make this noise. So anyway,
By the way, Whoopi was so good in that. Can I just say?
Yeah, she won the Oscar.
She won the Oscar. She was and Patrick Swayze, incredible, and the Demi Moore was great.
All right, where do you stand, given between Point Break and Roadhouse?
I gotta go Point Break.
It's a better movie.
I mean, look, I think I just had a crush on him. And give me a Keanu. Are you crazy? Am I going to fight something with Keanu in it? I don't think so. Okay, John Wick. I don't think so. It's not happening. Not on my watch.
Yeah, so we somebody a listener sent me this shirt.
Oh wow!
with
Did they make that for you?
I guess they did. Yeah.
Do you love
because
Point Break?
we started
reference
playing
it.
around the clip of him saying "back off, war child." Seriously, because Casey always thought the way he said "seriously," just like this. Seriously, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Oh
It
my
doesn't
God.
sound very tough.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
It's got Anthony Kiedis in it too. You know, right?
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's this guy right here.
That would be a waste of time.
Yeah, that's Anthony Kiedis in that
Wow.
same scene.
Come on, that's
for
fun
real.
when you watch back. Then you're like, look at that, look at that. I don't want to brag, but I accidentally just started rewatching America's Next Top Model 2016, and you're like, I didn't know. I was like, I haven't seen this in a. I'm gonna put on the latest season. What? Turns out it was. I didn't realize it was 2016, but then when they were like, you know, here's our thing with French Montana. You know, you're like, okay, that doesn't seem current.
On what platform?
Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there were-
Accidentally, this.
Yeah.
Of all the things to
2016.
choose.
But then it's star-studded when you're watching back. You know, Rita Ora's the host.
Yeah.
Oh
Who's
yeah.
now
We've
married
got
to.
Zendaya's happening in it. I'm like, and it's the Anthony Zendaya's the America's Next Top Model. Anthony Kiedis of Point Break. This is a full circle moment, guys. It's a full circle moment. That's what made me think of it.
Yeah.
So you're performing at the City Winery,
Yeah.
and your act. I'm not familiar with your presentation. What do you do on stage?
I'm doing
I hate to be that
No,
ignorant.
that's fine. I'm doing a stand-up show. My friend says that I'm like Kitty who got into the champagne bottle and Kitty wants to play. So if you want to play with a kid who got it, it's a really fun act. I think come if you guys like pop culture, if you know, it's a fun night.
Yeah.
It's nice and early, so you can go. I don't know what I'm not judging you. Whatever your life is, I don't know what your late night life is, but you can start the night with me Thursday, October 12th, City Winery, Philly.
And 7:30 is when the show is. So you're right; it's an early show.
And you're very funny. You're very funny. Yeah.
And if you want to check out Arden's website, it's Arden Myrin, which is spelled MYRIN.
Drunk Vikings.
.com.
Drunk
And
Vikings.
we'll post stuff on our socials about that. But citywinery.com to get the ticket. So I'm sure you'll have a great crowd, and it should be pretty awesome.
Thank you so much for
My
having me.
pleasure.
Ada, thanks for educating me about tasty cakes and candy cakes.
And now that we know you're this close, you can come down more often.
Heck yeah, I would love that.
Excellent. All right, great to see you, Arden. Thanks for being
Likewise,
here.
thank you.
Arden
Bye.
Myrin, guys. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. We got more guests and things to do. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
A shopping spree? That it is more than just water. What do you mean no?
Make it more interesting.
Well, what's his?
I want your ripped shirt.
Yeah, complete the
You have
rip
to
on
wear
your
it.
shirt.
Back.
Rip
With
it
the
all the
underpants
way
down.
down.
Rip
right
the
now.
rest of your shirt.
Yeah.
And you got a bet.
We now rip it below knocker level.
You have to puncture them first, right? You can't
No.
just throw them away full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that too much effort?
Did you say yo? Or did you say no?
I said, yeah.
yeah.
Yo.
Okay.
I said, yeah.
Yo, buddy.
Yo.
Anyway, yes, we started hanging on to a few of those as well, and then what am I doing? And I just started throwing them away. So
I'm done with the coat I wanted to make out of these.
All right, hold on.
What?
We may
Breaking news?
No, it's not.
Whoa.
No, it's not
No,
breaking
are you
news. Don't do
serious?
it.
Not too late.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
A lot of texts are coming in
News. Breaking news. Do.
saying that they've opened those things up, and there's all kinds of blue stuff and sticky and
Oh my gosh.
things inside of it.
Kathy, where's he going to take you?
Where are we going? Saks, Preston, right after the show.
Sex?
Sex right after
yeah.
the show. Wow.
Sex after the show with Kathy.
Here's another one. So it says the packs say on it that you can cut them and empty them down the drain.
Oh. Well, I don't read things.
Here's somebody says I'm the owner of Amazon. The fluid is from aborted babies.
Oh, good God.
Another level.
Okay, I don't know.
That's not funny.
But what see? Now you may be thinking about your service. Is yours from Amazon?
No, mine's HelloFresh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do.
Hello, Fresh.
Blue Apron. I want to go to this call on the line real quick, and then we're going to take a break in just a moment. So I'm going to go to Harry. Hey, Harry, how you doing?
Good. Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. What's up, bud?
Hey, most townships have a thing like once a year or so. They call it, one of the names they use is called clean sweep.
Yeah.
And if you have like paint cans or drain cleaner or something like that you don't want any kind of chemical like that.
Household hazardous waste. Yeah.
Yeah. You could take it there, and most of them don't charge you anything for it because they just want you to get rid of it safely.
I got to look for that because I have a whole bunch of paint cans I'm looking to get rid of. I have all the stuff from my meth lab I'm looking to get rid of. Yeah.
No, I have a ton of stuff that I need to throw
And you never
out.
know, and you don't want to like battery acid or you know what else I have a lot of those old kerosene, not kerosene, those old the fuel for the little
oh yeah.
barbecues. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
little containers,
propane tanks, right?
The mini propane tanks.
Go to your trash provider or trash, whatever you want to call it.
Trash provider.
Not your
I
trash
didn't get
provider.
my trash delivered this week. I'm sitting here without any garbage. Everyone looks like they're far more.
Your disposal provider.
Where is my trash delivery? I put the cans out at the curbside. I'm waiting. Everyone else has their trash. Do you want me to look like an idiot?
Sorry, sir.
What am I paying for?
Do you want general trash, or do you want hobo trash? Do you want the classic fish bones and flies, or do you want?
We go with large,
Boxes, styrofoam, stuff like that would be fine.
Yeah.
Shredded paper, documents that make me look important.
All right, sir.
We're sorry for the confusion.
We are the nation's #1 trash provider. Anyhow, if you call it your trash service, or go on their website, it will tell you how you can go about disposing of household hazardous waste.
I always forget to do that, so you end up with 45 cans of old paint in your house.
Yeah, that's true. If you're just tuning in, it's Michael Cudlitz who is here with us.
The earlier roles, you have 90210. You're also in Dragging the Bruce Lee Story, right?
Hey, Chinaman, teach us those moves.
Wait a minute. You were in that scene?
Yeah, he's one of the.
I am that scene.
Wait, where
I'm Bruce Lee.
No.
Dude, you were phenomenal.
I'm amazing.
You looked Asian. You looked Asian.
Wait, when he was in the going to college and he's training in the.
I represent the man.
Okay, I have to go back and I've seen that movie a bunch of times.
But you
were very forgettable in it. I'm sorry.
Thank you. What's the show again? What do you guys do? When does this air? This will be on TV later, right?
Yeah.
But listen,
radio. They still do that.
We're huge in Lakewood.
I know nobody's there, so I couldn't tell you. I'll go back and see what's going on.
Listen, I got on board with The Walking Dead very, very late. It was I didn't start until the 6th season. Then I watched every day, and in fact, it helped me out. It actually helped me lose some weight because I made a decision that I got it on Netflix. And I'm going to watch. The only time I'm going to watch it is when I'm exercising. So it became my appointment to exercise. I could only exercise when I was watching Walking Dead. I could only watch Walking Dead when I was exercising. It was actually a really cool thing to do. So I became a huge fan of this. I've gotten all the way up to the end of season 6. And then it stopped on Netflix. It ends.
Oh my God!
And then I had to wait because I couldn't go watch the current. I had to wait until it came back around. So that just recently,
and we kept you protected. We kept you in the dark.
Nobody told me anything. And Casey says, "Listen, before Michael comes in, watch the first episode of season 7."
He's a giver.
He is. I didn't watch it, but I read on my little prep sheet a little spoiler alert. So I found out today, man. I'm sorry.
All right, it's okay. I may or may not come back by the end of the season.
There's always flashbacks, man. And
no, last year. She's over here going, no, end of season 7.
I mean, even now, there's still some people who are not quite sure what happens to your character.
I know. Well, yes. And that's the thing where where does that line drawn? Where, you can't talk about that.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like,
come on, dude.
It's in a year.
Yeah.
We get to talk about it. Abraham's dead. Dead. Okay, if you're listening in your car and you're driving your kids to school, Abraham is dead. Not only Abraham is dead, then they kill Glenn.
Yeah. Oh, and that was
You're
pretty
right.
brutal,
There needs to be an expiration date.
Like a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
There should be, like in the Hunger Games, an announcement across on some universal PA system. Yeah. Okay, now we can talk about it.
For some reason, the final scene in the end of season 6 stuck with me for a long. I thought about it every single day, just because it was gripping, and obviously it was you don't know who's on the receiving end of the bat, and I just. I don't know why, but every single day, at least once a day, I would just think Negan, bat, head, and that's
Who is it?
Who is it? And it wasn't.
And we all thought it was gonna be Maggie. Let's beat up the sick Pregnant lady.
Yeah.
Right, network television.
To me, it didn't
look
matter
at
who
him.
it was. I just knew that somebody that I had cared about for a few years was going to be gone, and I had preferred it to be Eugene, but it wasn't.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping for that.
That annoying bastard.
The reaction. I'm a fan of the show too, so I was kind of like a little part of me was pissed off that they did us both at the same time. But it's kind of brilliant too because it's so brutal, and it is that reminder that Kirkman always says he wants to constantly remind the audience that it's a dangerous world that we're living in. It's not Star Trek, where Captain Kirk, he's in danger, but that's okay because he'll be on next week.
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
He may actually blow Captain Kirk's head off this week.
Yeah,
and that changes the whole viewing experience.
It does,
and I would argue that these two deaths were not actually any more violent than anything we've seen on the show, but you don't care about any of those other characters.
That's a good point.
About these characters,
because other characters have been ripped apart.
Oh, Noah got it nailed in the revolving door up against the glass, getting ripped apart. We've had people literally holding their guts, going, "What? I don't." Jeez. I mean, there's been some really nasty, awesome visual stuff.
I think for me, I got to the game a season late. It might have been 2 seasons late, and for me, it was because I didn't want to watch a zombie show. And then I realized that this is not a horror show. And I didn't realize it until I was probably about halfway through the first episode, maybe the second episode, because I kind of watch horror movies with my hands over my eyes. And I realized that I didn't have to do that. And then I realized that the zombies are a background almost like the trees are. You know what I mean? And it was really all about the relationships between these people and, what that type of situation will do to a person.
Yeah, turn into when there's a overwhelming crisis,
Well, it's like if you had a chance to rebuild society, what would you do?
Yeah.
If
A
you
feudal society?
And how would it fail? What are the same mistakes you would make?
Right.
Even though you think, this time we'll do it different. And you see through the show, that absolute power does corrupt, absolutely. And you see people change, and you see people make mistakes. The show's very human.
I want to ask you, how much does the Talking Dead series add to the fandom of this show? Because
the show's a very emotional show. You get very connected to the characters, and horrible things happen to them, and then you're left home alone with that. And this is a way to, I think, share what you're feeling, to sort of know you're not alone. And Chris has described it as the warm hug after the show, and we laugh at that, but I think it is. You get to process the show. You get to hear what other people thought about it. If you were, maybe you think, well, I think he or she is feeling this, or they're going through that, and then you hear people talk about it, and you get to sort of bounce your ideas off their ideas. So it is an extension in a way of the sort of the social media of it all, and that I think we like. I mean, we like that interaction. We like, knowing we're right or wrong, or being not necessarily corrected, but sort of like, what happened there? And if somebody talks about it, and that is what happened there,
it's brilliant.
It's great. Yeah.
Michael, I wanted to ask us. I know you've voiced some characters in Call of Duty. They have a new World War II game coming out. Steve and I are massive fans of the World War II. I know they've spanned all kinds of different campaigns and so forth, but my favorites have been the one in the World War II. Did you voice any in that particular
nothing
game?
Recent. I've been out of town for the last 4.
Okay.
Is voice acting for a video game a much different animal? Is it? We always hear it's sort of weird because you're kind of just freelining it, and that's it.
You're like, basically, this is a session, except you do it for 2.5 hours. Reload! Reload! Over here! Over there! Under there! Under here! Behind the tank! Behind the Jeep! For 2 days. 2 days.
2 days of that?
Yeah, and that's like, I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding.
That's great. So, but the cutscenes, at least, you have a little bit of.
Yeah. Reload! Can't use that one.
Reload!
Reload? That's great!
Yeah.
What? No, it wasn't great.
Great to have you here. Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Michael Cutlets, guys. Walking Dead, 93.3 WMMR.
Visitor to Octoberfest noticed a man slumped over at a festival exit with a baby attached to his front on Thursday. As he tore it, slowly fell to the side. The anxious man took his baby from him. And Oktoberfest is the largest beer festival in the world, attracting a global audience for its mixture of strong beer, traditional Bavarian food, and fairground rides.
You know who went there this year? Matt Cowper.
Oh, yeah?
Said it was sick.
It must have been sick. That's one guy was there. He was getting
so
sick all over the place.
His baby was there and he was getting sick. It took a lot of people got sick because they drank too much and they got sick.
Organizers expect visitors' numbers to hit 6 million again this year. That's crazy.
Cowper said that there are, what it basically is gigantic.
Performing at Miller Theater, formerly the Miriam Theater. And yesterday, Mean Girls premiered, and yesterday was October 3rd, Mean Girls Day.
Talking to Aaron more and more. On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd. 2 weeks later.
And just that line alone is why it's Mean Girls Day. But it opened yesterday on that day, which is perfect, and running through Sunday. And we have the star of the show. She is playing Katie. Please welcome Natalie Shaw to the program. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, happy to be here.
Excellent. We are happy to have you. So how did it go yesterday, the opening?
It was insane in
Yeah?
the best way. We were all very nervous because this was the first time we've switched venues doing the show. So we all thought, oh, God, this is going to be awful. It's going to be terrible. But what helped us pull through were the Philly fans. The crowd was electric. They cheered for things for the first time that no crowd has cheered for. They just cheered for the cool mom's entrance and exit. They cheered for this costume change.
I would too. I'm a massive fan of the movie. We actually took a bunch of guys. This is when Lindsay Lohan first had her, and I think she was in maybe a Playboy or Maxim or something.
Yeah.
And we went and saw a matinee. We love Tina Fey anyway.
Yeah.
And love the movie. And to me, this is a very pop culture oriented city, and everyone is dialed in. So you'll get your Empire Records fandom, and you'll get your Mean Girls fandom, and it's all received well. That's so cool to hear that things that got reactions that hadn't gotten reactions before. That's very cool.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It felt great. The show went super well, and they were super reactive to the October 3rd line. So I would say it was a huge success.
It's perfect.
Okay, I'm an idiot when it comes to all this. Is this a musical, or is it? It is a musical. So
It
you
is a
guys
musical.
you have set all these famous scenes to song now.
We have.
Okay.
We've shortened the movie and added songs, which I think enhances the story. The heart of the movie is still a part of the musical. It all just makes it that much more splashier and fun and exhilarating because now there's more movement and more colors and more pizzazz and more.
And Tina Fey oversaw
Yes.
that whole
She sure did.
transformation, and she wrote the screenplay and plays the math teacher.
Yep.
To me, the story still holds up and in ways was sort of predicting a lot of stuff that's happening these days with bullying, the progression of social media may not have been as prominent at that point when it was done, but all of the beginnings of it were there. And but I think I consider it a near perfect movie because ultimately you have the evolution of these characters, even like Regina, who's the queen bee, the bitchy girl, has her moment, and as does your character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember feeling so relieved when the movie came out because I was like, finally, something that gets high school right. I mean, in the most like absurd, ridiculous way. But I was like, finally, something that like calls out Mean Girls for what they are and how stupid it is that we have cliques and social hierarchies and I like finally something that makes fun of it all. So
But it doesn't dismiss each type. Like to me, what killed me, what I thought was like a home run, and we're watching this, when she shows up, Katie, right? Katie,
Katie, and she's sometimes called Kat.
Right, and she shows up to the Halloween party in a vampire costume,
Exactly.
thinking that. It doesn't realize, no, that's not what it's about. No, it's being, slutty nurse, slutty,
Yep.
And her Tina Fey's ability to get right, to nail all that stuff, because movies sometimes try to do that. Like one that did it years before was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And, they get it tonally right and nail a couple of things.
Yeah, Breakfast Club is one of those.
Breakfast
too.
Club, a perfect example, yeah.
Do people, so yesterday being Mean Girls Day, any of the audience members dress up or anything like that?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, actually, nearly every time we leave the stage door after the show, like everyone's in pink, no matter if it's Mean Girls Day or not.
That's great.
I was told I had to, because I'm going to the show tonight, and I was told I have to wear pink. I have to wear pink.
Well, on Wednesdays you wear pink,
out
right?
If you don't. Yeah. No, it's. I was not expecting that at all. I love it. People really go all in, and it's adorable and so special.
What do you love? What do you love about your character? What do you love about the? Because honestly, it's again, no one is black and white. Everyone has their pitfalls and their character flaws.
Yeah. I would say I like her because she is maybe the most flawed one of them all, maybe the most insufferable one of them all. But I like her arc. I like this is. For me personally, I know this sounds stupid, but this is the most challenging role of my career. I can already predict it.
Really?
Because she goes through the most insane character development of sweet, naive, to people pleaser, to mean girl, to Dark Night of the Soul, to...
She gets seduced.
Yeah.
She gets seduced.
Yeah.
And she's called into that by people who really want to seek revenge.
Yep.
And she gets turned over to the dark side. And then, of course, it all hinges on the burn book, which is critical to everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's a lot that happens in real time, live, for this character that I have to be doing mental gymnastics for. So I like playing her personally because it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of code switching and intentions and motives that I
In
have
real
to
time.
In real time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see. I hope I do it okay.
Case and I graduated high school the same year, 1993. So I haven't been in high school for 30 years. And this is a really open-ended question. But and the movie came out in 2004. Do you think that the movie and subsequently the musical have made cliques less cool and made high school a little bit better? Because that's from an outsider's perspective, I kind of feel like they have, but also I'm not in high school anymore, so I don't know.
I hope so. Also, I have a lot of hope for future generations. I think we're getting better. I'm a part of Gen Z, but I'm also kind of a millennial. I don't even know what to say. But I'm both. I'm hopeful that future generations are getting better and better about this, not only because of the movie, but I think we're all becoming a little bit more self-aware. We're all getting more comfortable with our own skin. I do think so. I do think this is a good movie to rely on when it comes to like coming back to Earth and realizing what the human existence is all about.
I'm a little older. I'm the Renaissance, but everything's cyclical. It does, and everyone. I think we're coming into a point where people kind of take a breath and let everyone live in their own skin a little bit, and realize that there's more that honestly unites us, and that's manifest in the in the Mean Girls.
Exactly.
That's what they all realize.
Yeah, that's
and
the
fact that
message.
Regina ends up kind of like a jock at the end. Is hilarious.
Exactly.
Is it okay to ask how old you are? You mentioned
of
Jenna.
course.
How old are you?
I'm 26 and
26.
I don't have health
Wow.
insurance anymore.
Well, you don't look it at all. You look a lot younger, which is part of the reason why you're cast in this role, I would imagine.
Exactly, yeah.
And we were talking off air. You're from North Dakota.
I am.
And where do you live now?
I live in Brooklyn, New York now, but
You're a New
it
Yorker.
took a while to get here. Yeah.
Are you with the touring company of the show? So you're going all over the country doing Mean Girls? Where all of you guys played?
So far we've only played in Syracuse and now Philly. Next up we're gonna be in Hershey, and then we're gonna be in Birmingham.
Okay.
We're going all over. We're going to the Midwest. We're going to
Are
the
there
West
other
Coast, East
companies doing the same thing across the country? So like it's I don't even know how many pronged effort that this is right now.
Yeah, there are several. There's like Mrs. Doubtfire on tour, which is also a movie turned musical. Wicked. Yeah, there's plenty going on. There's theater is booming right now.
It really is.
I love that it is. We have a whole bunch of, especially in Philly, there in the area, there's a tremendous amount of really top level venues that can accommodate it. And every time anyone is, said, I don't know if I'm into that. And then they end up going and they have a blast because there's nothing like seeing something performed live and that whole theater experience. It's great. So, and I also have always been sort of, it's sort of seductive, the notion of a traveling touring company and the familial stuff. Is that all true? Or, I assume the benefits far outweigh the negatives, right?
I would say so. Yeah, it's exhausting work. It's hard work, but it is thrilling. It's what I'm mostly grateful for is I know what my job is going to be. I mean, COVID pending for the next 8 months. And it's exciting. And I love that I've never gotten the chance to play a character, do a show this many times and kind of like redeem myself this many times and explore new things about this show.
All right, so I'm curious what scenes have been put to music. What can you share with us? What are some of the songs that we would know from scenes in the movie?
Even the October 3rd line when he asked me what day it was.
That's a whole production?
That is a whole song. That is a song. That's exciting. When my character leaves Africa and enters the school and is this new kid, that's a whole production. I would say the most exciting musical production, most exciting musical number of this show is when you first get to meet the Plastics, Regina George and her crew.
Yeah.
Their entrance, the lighting, the music, it's like kind of like what am I thinking of? Kind of like James Bond-esque.
Okay.
With the musical motif. Their entrance will blow you away. We get cheers and screams and cries every time that they first come into the show.
Each one of those characters is iconic.
It's very iconic.
I mean, look at Amanda Seyfried and Lacey Chabert. It's and they've become costumes.
They have
become costumes.
Yeah. No, it's a cult classic for a reason.
Yeah.
Any word on if Lindsay Lohan has seen the show?
I think she might be a little busy.
Okay.
I would be so honored if she came. I love her so freaking much.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, I adore Lindsay Lohan, and I've been watching the Mean Girls movie like every other day since I got this role. I don't think she'll come, but if she's listening to this amazing show.
Did you see her Netflix Christmas movie?
I didn't. I saw all the promo for it, and it looked awesome.
I'm like, listen, because there was a time, I think she'd probably even admit at this point, where she kind of went off the rails a little bit.
We all do.
But that Netflix Christmas thing, I'm like,
is it great?
I loved it. I freaking loved it.
I believe it. I think she's good in everything she does. I don't think she can make a single mistake.
Well, maybe like Freaky Friday, and I mean, it's a Parent Trap.
Exactly.
She's got the chops.
She does. I love her.
Well, I was reading that your pre-show ritual is to listen and sing to Beyonce and Ariana Grande, drink some tea, chat with your sister on the phone, and think about Lindsay Lohan.
Yes. I love her. She's always on my brain. I love her so much. She's so cool.
So what moment in the show, I mean, obviously the show is very well received, but is there one particular moment where that's, okay, tonight I want to really...
I want to be Lindsay Lohan?
What's that moment in the show?
Well, so this show, it being a musical, as you might know, it can get a little corny.
Yes,
it can get a little cheesy.
Right.
So anytime I kind of want to feel like brought back to earth and give a more like maybe nuanced and grounded performance rather than a like musical theater one, then I think of Lindsay and I'm like, what would she do in this moment to like make it a little bit more real and a little bit more authentic? So I just kind of think of her when I just want to come back to earth.
And it's got a sharp, I mean, people don't realize, again, it hits on all, there's that moment, I don't know if it's in the musical, but it's probably not because you have to eliminate some of the stuff, but when they're in the mall and they see Tina Fey, the math teacher in her, she's working like a Bennigan's or something, and her second job.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember when I was, in high school or in school and I would see a teacher out and about in their civilian garb, it's like, what?
Exactly.
What?
Embarrassing.
Yeah, it would screw you up. And the fact that, she picked up on that and put it in there is great.
Yeah.
So it's got a real edge to it,
It does. Yeah. It's thankfully Tina also wrote the script for the musical.
Yeah.
So she's had a huge hand in this musical as well. So it does remain hilarious. It remains ridiculous. It remains like it still has everything the movie has to offer.
Excellent. Well, it premiered yesterday. It's running through Sunday, and you can get tickets at kimmelculturalcampus.org, and it is playing at the Miller Theater. So if you've got some time and wear your pink,
yes,
you can go see Mean Girls. So Natalie, great to meet you. Congratulations on your success, and hope this tour goes wonderful for you.
Thank you so much.
Excellent.
So happy to be here.
Natalie Shaw, guys, from Mean Girls. All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. We are going to get Bizarre File, Crumb Bum Cash, and Biscuits. When we get back. So stay with us.
Benches. And that's it.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And people getting sick.
And people getting sick.
Yeah. How many million?
6 million.
million sick people.
What was that again?
6 million sick people.
Sounds sick. All right, and then we'll do one more story. Man, this is wild. Amazing pictures from the Arctic show an army of more than 230 polar bears feasting on a washed-up whale.
We will control the humans. Our time has come.
After a bowhead whale became stranded and died on Russia's remote Wrangle Island, the extraordinary sight was witnessed by tourists on an Arctic cruise.
Look at all those suckers.
Yeah, a source at Wrangle Island Nature Reserve said there were at least 230 polar bears, including single males, single females, mothers with cubs, mothers with cubs, even.
Where are you from? Oh, wow. You've got a Russian accent. Yeah, that's great. Do you like whale? Well, let's go over and have a bite.
You could tell her about that time you went to Octoberfest.
Yeah, it was sick. Everyone got sick. We're eating blubber and drinking beer, and everyone just got sick. What's my name? Cowper Bear.
It's a big singles. It's a big polar bear singles mixer.
You kidding me? It was, there were single males, single females, mothers with cubs, and even 2 mothers with 4 cubs each.
MILF bears. Sick.
Cowper bear.
Cowper bear.
Experts called the
This is
site.
going to be a new thing the kids are going to. Where's my Cowper bear? You can't go to sleep unless you give him his Cowper bear.
Called the sight of so many polar bears together unique.
You pull the string. Sick. Pull it again. Sick. Everyone loves Cowper bear.
Oh,
sick.
Oh, my God. Okay. So anyhow, the huge number could, in fact, amount as much of 1% of the entire world's population of the creatures. Yeah, tourists initially thought the bears were a flock of sheep. Sheep.
Sheep are sick.
Although viewing them, after viewing them from a distance, but as a boat drew closer, the lucky
Those aren't sheep eating that whale.
vacationers realized that they were what they were witnessing. The mainly Russian tourists had
Just some
to
sheep eating a whale.
depart from a stopover on the island when they spotted the bears.
That seems normal.
Just seems like a flock of sheep eating a whale, the way sheep do.
I think they just saw them on the hillside and they thought they were sheep. One of the things that I've been wanting to do for a little while, I have Kathy and I both share a common ailment. We have lower back pain. We have a mildly herniated discs, which causes pressure on the nerves in your back and all this stuff. And our backs hurt all the time. But my neighbor has the same issue, and he's gotten past his problems. And so my neighbor Jaime had he had done all these things, and he also goes, oh yeah, and I get acupuncture. And so it's all of this together has helped completely alleviate it from his life. And I'm like, well, I'm game.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do whatever I can to help get rid of this pain. So I've never had acupuncture before. And we're going to stick me with these little needles.
Today.
From Virtua Acupuncture, we want to welcome Heather Schultz to the show this morning. Hey, Heather.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. And how long have you been doing this, by the way?
I've been practicing acupuncture for 7 years.
7 years.
Mhm.
Okay. And let me ask you this about acupuncture. Now, this has to do with the body's nervous system? Or that's what I've always been led to believe?
The acupuncture's effects do have positive effects on the nervous system. It also deals with the muscular skeletal system.
Okay.
And when we put acupuncture needles in you today for pain, it releases your endogenous opioids. Your natural painkillers that are in your body. Well, also, we've had some really exciting research lately. It affects brain neuroplasticity. So your brain changes in response to stimulus.
Okay.
And so acupuncture over time can have positive brain changes that help you manage pain better.
Okay. And with that, and with doing it over time, how often should someone get treated? Say somebody like me who has described what my issues are.
So generally we recommend with chronic injuries, you are going to come in once or twice a week in the beginning for a couple of weeks and see what happens, and then you start spacing them out more until you don't need to come in that much.
Okay. All right, so you're going to get in my back, and where else?
Hands and feet.
And Casey, can I get some appropriate music for...
Absolutely.
Preston, are you encouraged by this? I think, because, this could be... I know a number of people have had very good results with this.
Chinese music, by the way, because this is a Chinese art, I believe, or Chinese medicine. Especially my neighbor, because I believe him. He's a smart guy, and he's had pain for years, and he believes this has worked for him. So I'm like, you know what? I will definitely give it a shot. So
he's like the neighborhood Fonzie too, right?
He's so cool.
Acupuncture school.
It's crazy. All right, so I got my shoes off. I can just head over there now.
All right, Preston's going to walk over. We're watching the process, and Preston soon will be pricked all over his body.
All right, and then a question. Can I see one of the needles first, please? Let me see the needle. Oh, wow.
How far does that go in?
I can almost not even see it. It's so thin. How far in does it go in, Heather?
It depends where you're putting it.
All right.
Okay.
Where you're putting it on me?
I'm putting it in your low back.
Yeah, and how far in will that go?
Maybe halfway.
Oh, dear God.
Oh,
That's
my.
fine.
pretty deep.
That's fine. All right. Wait. Heather, does it help to have someone saying, "Oh my God"? Oh, just relax. Oh dear Jesus, you're gonna kill him. No, I think it has to be a little bit more supportive,
This is going to be challenging for you.
It will?
You're gonna bleed him out.
I tuned those guys out years ago.
Should we dim the lights?
You want to dim the lights?
Let's dim the lights.
All right.
Just a little bit.
All right, so we'll dim the lights.
I want this to work for Preston.
Me too. All right, so I'm just lying here, and I'm waiting for this to happen.
All right, Kathy cannot watch. This is why Kathy was screaming and begging for mercy and telling Preston he was
The first one's in, and I did feel a little pinprick, but it didn't feel like it went in very far.
How long do sessions usually last?
So it's going to take me just a couple minutes to put the needles in.
Okay.
And then I would usually let him hang out for about 25 minutes to let them kind of do their work.
We'll try to give him a good run. We can run the show. Preston can do most of the show. A lot of people don't know most of us do the show completely on our stomachs anyway.
Kathy. How much?
How horny are you right now?
How much would it take for me to pay you to get one needle?
Well, listen, if she put it in my back and I couldn't see it, it's having to look at it.
You offer $500?
Yeah. 500.
Yeah. So Preston, you have a few in your lower back right now.
I didn't even notice.
See, and Heather, this is as it's done. I've seen people do it. There's a little bit of twisting back and forth to move him in slowly, or how's it? How do you manage to do that without him feeling it at all?
The needles are so tiny.
So tiny. Okay.
You can fit 20 to 30 of these needles in the head of a injection needle like you had earlier today.
Okay. All right.
So, Heather, should I just relax and try to center? Or
Preston, I would think of things that you enjoy. Think of your family. Think of, I don't know.
Bukkake videos.
Your favorite bong. Bukkake videos.
Favorite bong.
I would think of.
Sorry. I snorted.
I would think of MILFs.
Oh.
Kay Parker, Preston.
That's old school.
Yeah. I would think of a cup and two girls.
Oh, dude.
All right, so how many needles are in now?
9 needles.
9 total so far, yeah.
Are you done putting needles in them?
I was going to put one on the top of his head.
Please do it. Do it. He cut his hair extra short.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Now, this is the one, Heather, you said has to be driven in with a hammer, correct?
Wow, on the top of my head.
Yeah.
You feel that one, Preston?
No.
Okay.
Is it already in?
Yeah.
No, I didn't feel that at all.
I'll say this. Do you seem at peace, Preston? I know you usually come in here screaming and throwing things around, and here you're at peace.
I'm enjoying this.
Do you feel anything?
No, I'm just trying to relax, not move, and accidentally roll over and jam these needles all the way into my skin.
Well, as Heather said, this isn't the optimum condition, but if you were to follow up and stay at it, do you have every confidence he would start to experience the benefits of it?
Yes, certainly. He would start to see benefits within a treatment or two.
Within a treatment or two, Preston.
Yeah, and I plan on it. You remember I'd said earlier in the week that I think it would be nice if everybody tried to do one nice thing. I want to thank my buddy Casey here.
What'd he do?
Well, the past few days, I've come into the studio after doing my prep work in the other room here, and then I come in, about 5 minutes before the show starts to get ready to begin, and there has been a nice, piping hot mug of coffee sitting.
Wow.
There. Isn't that?
Wow.
Isn't that That's made my week, dude. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it might make my wake, too.
It made your wake.
Hopefully not.
We're just planning ahead because obviously the whole Alabama thing. I mean, who knows?
You never know.
You're flying into a hurricane.
But it made my week. Thank you. Simple little gesture like that.
Today, I was only paying it forward because Steve brought me a nice piping hot cup of coffee as well.
You see? The movement is spreading.
It's like cancer. No, I mean, it's that's not good. It's like it's a wonderful thing.
Yes. So
it's awesome.
So do that. Have a cup of coffee ready for somebody when they come in today. They'll be so delighted and happy.
Spit in it.
Yeah.
No.
Don't spit in it.
No, it's the wonderful. You feel good when you pay it forward.
And you know what else has been nice?
What?
Kathy's been extra gussied up the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I think it's the glasses.
Yeah, maybe it's
you
a
look
different
really,
look
That's
for
a
you.
sexy look on you.
Thanks.
You looked much better yesterday.
Until you just made that face.
You ruined it.
Dear God.
All right, thank you.
Why, thank you. I'm having issues with my contacts. That's why I'm wearing my glasses.
She smushed her face when she said, thank you.
You do look great in glasses, though.
You do.
If you have people with you have large, you have beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
The glasses look. I think girls with glasses. That whole thing is BS. I think it's. I think they look. It's a great. When my wife got these great frames, I'm like, keep wearing. They look awesome.
Yeah. I wear glasses every day, but at night, right before bed. Where I'm in my house, I don't usually go out in them. But the past couple of days, I've been wearing them.
Why not the contacts? Sometimes they irritate after a while.
No, it's called pink eye.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So now we're going to move on to something that I've had in mind for a long time, and now the dream is coming true. I actually have sitting next to me a bag full of vibrators.
Yes.
So if that gives you
Because
any
it's
indication.
Friday.
It's Friday.
Yeah. And sometimes someone likes their butt tickled a little.
Well, the best thing was Marissa comes in today, and she just walks up next to me. Her desk is directly next to mine. She turns this bag upside down and just dumps 5 vibrators out on the table.
But there's a reason for this madness.
There
it's
is.
something that has caught your fancy. You saw a video.
I did.
And you said, we got to try this.
Probably a couple of years ago, and I'm like, why have we never done this? So we've created, actually Casey created this. I said, dude, can you build me this? He said, well, let me look into it, and sure enough, he has done it. We have in our studio a vibrator racetrack. So we're gonna do a live test of this track here in our studio, and if this works, then we'll have an idea of something that we can expand on this, and I'll get you that in a moment. So
we'll expand on dildos.
Do you want to try this out?
I do very much.
All right, so I'm gonna reach in and just randomly grab one.
Now you've never met these dildos.
I've never met this. So I grabbed a.
You picked a good one.
Is this a pink one?
Yeah.
So that's yours?
Yeah. So this will be me.
Okay.
And then here. I'm rubbing it on the microphone.
The force is strong.
Eat all your biscuit already?
No,
All
not
your
all
biscuits?
of it. I just had some of it.
Oh, okay.
I tried 3 different ones.
You did 3 different
Yeah.
ones?
Well,
There's a lot out there.
We had just started our interview with Natalie, who was here a minute ago, and I'm like, and I turn around and Casey's eating his biscuit, eating his sandwich,
He
his
loves
breakfast
his biscuit.
sandwich.
I starved myself for the last day.
So you could have it.
In preparation?
I did a little bit of likewise, just because I knew we were having the biscuits this morning, and I wanted to be able to really test them out. And I had the plain biscuit, home run.
Casey had texted us a couple of days ago, and it was just like, oh my God, you have to, blah, blah, blah. He was going on about this thing.
We do that with each other, though.
Oh, we do. And he hadn't even had it yet, just from the pictures alone.
I remember you had sexy fries. All these
Well,
things.
I had those.
Yeah, right.
Many times.
Yeah.
But Casey had never even had these. He had just seen pictures, and he's like, "We have to buy these."
If you're going to open up a biscuit shop, your biscuits are probably pretty damn good. So I kind of stand behind Casey with loving it at the picture.
Yeah. I mean, all I said was, and I sent you guys the link for it, and I just said, hey, I'm gonna order this. Well, I didn't know they were closed on Mondays. I was like, I want to go here, and I said I'll buy, and that's all. I didn't.
Okay,
really go
sorry, I was
crazy.
accentuating that a little bit for a dramatic effect on the radio. I apologize.
Okay.
But anyhow, so we talked about it on the air, and now we get the Biscuit Lady sitting here in our studio with us this morning. So this is Tara, by the way. Hey! How are you, Tara?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing very well. Happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
The Biscuit Lady. Well, yeah, you called in.
I did.
We were talking about it, about these biscuits, and you've got a huge fan right here, Casey boy.
Well, presentation is like, I don't want to say it's everything, but that's what brought me to the table was how everything was presented on your Instagram feed. I'm like, okay, I think I can get behind this. And Kathy's right. You're not going to do this
if your biscuits aren't damn good.
Yeah. And so you guys are celebrating an anniversary of sorts this weekend?
We are, absolutely. We're hitting 1 year on October 7th, 1 year in business. So we're very excited about that. It's been an incredible year. We're so thankful for all of our amazing customers, all the support we've received throughout the year. But yes, 1 year.
Any small business, we're big supporters of small business, and you try to go up that huge mountain of getting something to catch on and invest the time and the effort. You work, I'm sure you work around the clock, and you have to invest a lot of blood and sweat into it and hope against hope that it works, but you're getting traction, and that's really cool. So to make it to the 1 year mark, while it may not seem like a lot, it's a lot.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And what all kind of biscuits do you make?
So every week we switch up our varieties to keep things interesting. For example, we'll do a strawberry biscuit with a lemon glaze, a cinnamon sugar biscuit with a vanilla glaze. This week, to celebrate our 1 year anniversary, we're doing a birthday cake biscuit, so it's similar to a
Is that what's in there?
That is what's in there.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because it has sprinkles on it. It looks like a birthday cake.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Well, let me ask, why biscuits? A year ago, before you were opening any sort of business, why biscuits?
What are you, a cop? Yeah.
Am I being interrogated? No. Biscuits, why not? Biscuits are buttery, they're comforting, they feel like a warm hug, and
yeah.
And
are you a chef or just someone who was making biscuits at home? And
I am not a chef.
Okay.
I'm a realtor in my former life, and I really wanted to get out of that industry. It was
Is this a family? Is this a family recipe?
It is a recipe I created.
That you created?
Yeah,
wow.
Lots of trial and error. In fact, my team and I, it was probably about 8 months ago in our kitchen that we're in right now, we tweaked the recipe, kept tweaking it, and finally we got this thing down, and I was like,
I tasted a bit of real estate in there. No.
You did. See? Yes.
No, it really, so my mother was a Southern cook, and, I loved the biscuits she would make, and this is on a par, really solid,
Thank you.
So, and you were all just kind of like a lab, right? I assume?
Absolutely, yeah. It started in my home kitchen. I was baking and delivering from home, and then it just blew up from there. But
that's a ballsy move. It's a ballsy move to leave real estate and then to say, okay, let's do this. So
I tried just a tiny bit. I told Casey I'm watching what I'm eating this week. I've got a weight goal in mind, so I'm not going to dive into a biscuit because they're just they'll do a number on you. And if they're nothing but flavor. And I tried a little bit of the birthday cake. It's fan-freaking-tastic. It is outstanding.
It's unbelievable.
And I'm not even a big birthday cake, like there's birthday cake ice cream and stuff like that.
No, I agree.
I
agree.
Really like that. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
So yeah, our pleasure. Thank you for bringing that by here.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So we're gonna enjoy our biscuits, and we thank you and Jen and Crystal and Kieran for coming by today.
And your location?
We're located at 5154 Ridge Avenue in Roxborough. Follow our Instagram account at @thebiscuitlady_Philly, and we're there Thursday through Sunday, open till sellout. So come early, order ahead. Limited supply.
What time you usually sell out by?
Around like 11:30, 12.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get out of bed, damn it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get your biscuits, bitch.
Biscuits.
All right. Thank you, Biscuit Lady. Tara, thank you. All right. We have Bizarre Files stories to do right now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Got junk and want it gone? Then you want J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Veteran and military family owned and operated. Visit J-Dog Junk Removal, RDSC.com. That's J-Dog Junk Removal, RDSC.com. Well, you hear of this myth, but this is legit.
What?
8 members of an organ trafficking ring in northeast Pakistan have been arrested, police said. The ring's leader, Fawad Mukhtar, is accused of extracting the kidneys of more than 300 people and transplanting them into rich clients.
Oh, man.
He has previously been arrested 5 times for malpractice, but managed to secure bail each time. At least 3 people died from having their organs harvested in this way.
How do you get suspended 5 times?
The transplants were carried out in private homes, often without the patients knowing.
So what, did they knock them out?
I don't know how.
I mean, it'd be hard to pull it off while they were awake.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked.
What are you doing down there?
A car mechanic is said to have worked for Mr. Mukhtar's his surgical assistant.
They got somebody from Jiffy Lube?
And helped lure vulnerable patients from hospitals.
Wow.
The kidneys were then sold for up to $99,000 to $120,000 each. He said there are, according to a source, there are a lot more transplants and illegal surgeries than this. These are the ones that we have just confirmed. The commercial trade of human organs was made illegal in Pakistan in 2010. Oh, they just came around to that 13 years ago.
Maybe we should talk about this.
The punishment for those caught includes a decade-long term in jail, a huge fine, in the hopes that this will stop sales to overseas clients by exploitive doctors, middlemen, recipients, and donors.
That was always the urban legend that a guy went out on a date with a woman and fell asleep and woke up in a bathtub full of ice and the organ was stolen, right? That's the classic story, but here it is.
Yeah. However, there has been a rise in organ trafficking in the country as people struggle with low wages and poor enforcement of the law. In January, police uncovered another organ trafficking ring after a missing 14-year-old boy was found in an underground lab after having his kidney removed.
Imagine having a mechanic remove your kidney.
Wow. All right. A 104-year-old Chicago woman is hoping to be certified as the oldest person to ever skydive after leaving her walker on the ground and making a tandem jump in northern Illinois.
I'm looking forward to it.
Dorothy Hoffner told a cheering crowd moments before leaving the ground, saying, "Age is just a number."
Goddamn, that hurt.
The Guinness World Record for oldest skydiver was set in May 2022.
Describing her jump, Preston.
By 103-year-old Lene Ingard Larson from Sweden. But Skydive Chicago is working to have Guinness World Records certify Hoffner's jump as a record. Hoffner first skydived when she was 100.
Wow.
And on Sunday, she left her walker behind just short of the plane, a sky van, and was helped up the steps to join the others waiting inside the skydive.
To be honest, I'm not impressed. I would like to see a halo jump.
She said as she was finally seated, let's go, Geronimo. When she first skydived, she said she had to be pushed out of the aircraft. But on Sunday, tethered to a U.S. Parachute Association certified instructor, Hoffner insisted on leading the jump from 13,500 feet.
She says she wants to replicate the jump in Point Break, Preston.
She looked calm and confident when the plane was aloft and its aft door opened before she shuffled toward the edge and leapt into the air.
Kudos to her.
Tumbled out of the plane head first, completing a perfect forward roll in the sky before flying stable in free fall with her belly facing the ground. The dive lasted 7 minutes, including her parachute's slow descent to the ground. She picked up her legs and plopped softly onto the grassy landing area. Friends rushed in to share congratulations while someone brought over her walker to her. By the way, she turns 105 in December, and she said she might take a ride in a hot air balloon next. She said, I've never been in one of those.
Do you think someone, for example, who is, or at least has to use a walker, is maybe confined to a wheelchair, could you go into like an iFly and
maybe
could you benefit from that?
You rocketed to the top.
Yeah. I mean, if your arms work, right, you're able to bend your body a little bit.
I think that's wishful thinking.
You have to be flexible. You definitely have to arch your back.
If you have some older relatives you're not particularly fond of, if you wouldn't mind, we'd like to conduct an experiment.
All right, turn on the fan.
All right, and here we go.
It didn't work.
I don't think it's going to end well.
Gum stuck to the ceiling.
Get a spatula.
That hurt.
I don't know.
Where's my pudding? Shut up. You're putting it in.
All right, we're moving on. Another story.
Would you like a biscuit, Coco?
Catalina Island. Of course, you guys know that's off the coast of California, right next to. Yeah, the wine mixer is there.
That's where Natalie Wood died.
Right up from San Diego. There is a nonprofit that administers much of the island, home to just over 4,000 people per year. Year-round, that is. They say its very existence as a functioning ecosystem is threatened by a couple thousand unwanted guests, and those are mule deer, an invasive species first introduced to the island back in the late 1920s.
So what, do they fly out there?
When it was still being used for ranching. The plan is to kill them, specifically by hiring people to shoot them from helicopters.
Wow, man, that seems brutal. Can't you just blow them up?
Whitney Latore, the chief executive of the Catalina Island Conservancy, said the island and the deer are both fighting for survival and neither one is winning. The problem is that Catalina's semi-arid land is no match for the roughly 2,000 deer who are competing for a diminishing amount of vegetation, a situation that is exacerbated by the climate crisis. And they said, unless we address the deer issue, the island will become more and more vulnerable. Oh, they said it in Rambo.
I'm coming for you.
More and more vulnerable to the devastating consequences brought on by rising temperatures and drought. So her organization has proposed partnering with another nonprofit, which is White Buffalo Incorporated, which employs hunters to help preserve native species and ecosystems.
Oh, I thought you said they're going to send in white buffalo to kill the mule.
There's a healthy bison population.
Yeah, I have more on that. So Catalina has battled and eliminated invasive species before. In 1990, hunters killed about 1,700 goats in the span of 2 weeks, and now no goats can be found on the island today. Bison, too, pose a threat. But they have not been eliminated. The herd has been reduced from about 400 to 100. It was 400 in 1990. It's 100 today. And they used birth control for that.
Yeah.
Like rubbers?
Condoms and whatnot.
Yeah.
The proposal to eliminate mule deer through a mass culling by contrast has proven controversial among residents and those concerned with animal welfare. Indeed, not everyone views the mule deer as a threat that needs to be eradicated.
So I had never heard of a mule deer, actually, until I got to the Grand Canyon this summer. They're all over there. We would just see them standing on the side of the road. We were walking right around the rim, and they were just, right there.
I've been to Catalina a few times. I think it used to be owned by the Wrigley family of the gum fame, and they were the ones that brought out the bison. And it's fascinating to see a bison herd on this island.
On an island?
Yeah, in the Channel Islands in California, off of California.
Now, Catalina is surrounded by great whites if you just push them into the water.
Oh,
yeah.
Had they thought about that?
Right.
All right. I know we're out of music, but we got a couple more minutes, and I have one more story that I wanted to pass along before it gets too old. A 73-year-old woman was hospitalized after she was attacked by a bear west of Glacier National Park, just south of the U.S.-Canadian border.
Bear attack.
It's another bear attack. I had one just a while ago in Banff.
If you gonna be a bear, be a grizzly.
The woman and her husband and dog were in the Flathead National Forest Sunday afternoon when a bear emerged from thick brush and attacked her. Her husband deployed bear spray, and the bear moved away from the woman, so it worked. The bear spray worked.
That stuff stinks. What the hell is that?
You have to wash your eyes out with milk.
Oh, my God, I can't even see. Smells like Aqua Velva.
The couple returned to their vehicle and drove to a location where they could call emergency services. The woman was flown to the hospital.
Yeah, call one for me.
Wildlife officials had no information about the woman's medical condition on Monday. Her name has not been released. The area is closed while investigation continues. Officials don't know if a grizzly bear or a black bear was involved. And the couple does own property.
Maybe wearing a disguise?
In that area. Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly. Could you imagine a grizzly bear wearing a black bear costume?
I'm just a black bear.
Yeah. All right, and that's it in the bizarre file.
So mace, pepper spray, bear spray, are they all one and the same, or?
I think bear spray, judging by what you're trying to repel, is more potent, but I could be wrong.
Are you guys?
I wasn't sure. I thought it maybe had to do with the delivery system
That's what I was, because bear spray seems like you can be a little further away.
Yeah, I don't know though.
It's the strength of the formula.
Okay.
Concentration. There's higher concentration of the active ingredient in bear spray.
You guys ever get that in your eyeballs?
Pepper spray, yes.
You have. So case, by you. Funny you should bring this up. There, I found something. Even though sometimes you have a bowl like by the door, we have this stuff, and And there was a little thing I didn't realize. Someone had given me like pepper
That you
spray.
put on your keychain or
Like you
something?
put on your keychain.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought it was like, it looked like Banaka.
Oh,
Steve, mine.
Did you spray it in your mouth?
No, I was about to spray it just to see what it was.
That's how I got it in my eye. I had it on my keychain, and it was very old, and it started to leak out.
Yeah.
And then I touched my face.
It's potent stuff.
All right. Well, our next guest is on the line and ready to chat. And this is awesome because she's got a cookbook that's about leftovers.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys, but we have tons of leftovers in my house all the time. A lot of times the stuff goes to waste, and I hate that. And I would like to know better ways to do something with that stuff. So,
Spice it up.
Fortunately, she's got a book. It's called Here We Go Again, Recipes and Inspiration to Level Up Your Leftovers. Please welcome Tiffany Thiessen to the show. Tiffany. Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. I'm really good. How are you guys?
We're wonderful. Thank you. Listen, so about the book, are you a household that has a bunch of crap left over all the time as well?
Yes, all the time. And I'm always trying to instill in my kids the importance of food waste because it is important, and we waste about 40% as a society, which is kind of crazy. So between that and the cost of food, which is skyrocketed, and it's crazy, I was like, I need to come up with a book that really resonates with people with food that they probably already have in their fridge and their pantry, and that's where Here We Go Again came.
I love the idea, and apparently, and I was just reading a little bit about you, and obviously we know about you from your various shows, and 90210 and Saved by the Bell and all that stuff, but I didn't realize growing up, you apparently... you were not super well off and had to stretch your food, and this is where you kind of picked up your. I didn't know you had all these culinary capabilities.
Well, I definitely grew up in a household where all the women were cooking together, and so I learned all my skills from them. And yeah, I mean, my mom was probably, I would give her the title really of Queen of Leftovers because I didn't realize it until I got older. But the chicken she would make, roasting chicken on Monday would roll into enchiladas on Tuesday, and then it would be chicken noodle soup on Thursday. I mean, she was the queen of doing that because of budget reasons. And so I thought it was kind of a perfect time with, the expensive food right now and the waste of food that we are doing as a society. I thought it was really perfect to really kind of create a cookbook that I've never seen before.
No, I love it, and it's done with a sense of humor, and obviously you obviously want to incorporate that in it. But yeah, there's my wife and I. We always talk about the reheat, the preparation of food. We end up we'll get a lot of restaurant food, but then when you're at home and maybe I can rework this into this, and we end up doing that a lot. Yeah. So to have this resource is very cool. But I want to ask you, how much has the air fryer revolutionized getting a second life on your leftovers?
Well, I think a lot of people love the air fryer. I mean, I have one, and I'll be totally honest, I don't use it as often as I think a lot of people do. I probably should. But it's become one of those other gadgets that sits in my pantry and just kind of collects stuff.
Okay, all right.
Well, listen, color me intrigued by the.
Lots of people love it,
There is a description of a recipe, and you're just going to have to share it with us because I demand that. But it's a breakfast sandwich made with leftover pizza.
And it is amazing.
Do tell.
I tell you? I mean, it is really. It takes the pizza, which if you're like me, I don't mind cold pizza. I actually love it.
Likewise.
But it kind of it elevates it in a way that really just kind of takes that pizza to the next level. So you're not just having cold pizza, but I make it into a breakfast sandwich with a gorgeous fried egg with a little chili oil. It's got prosciutto, crispy prosciutto, fresh ricotta on it, and then I add a really crispy cheese layer on top, so that makes it the sandwich. And it's truly it's one for the books. You got to try it.
It is literally one for the book. Yeah,
fantastic.
So I want to jump off the topic here for a second, and this may end up getting zero response, Tiffany. But real quick, I mean, first of all, Saved by the Bell was what brought you on the map for me, and then me and my friends were obsessed with 90210. And I just think it's so wild that my friend, one of my best friends from growing up, you guys may actually be friends right now. So my friend's my friend's name is Matt, and he owns the Pedal Workshop. And so it's a florist.
Oh my God, Maddie!
There you go.
Okay, yeah. So I'm looking at a video on.
I adore him. I adore him, and he's so freaking freaking talented. I love that, man. That's so cool.
Yeah, I think it's really well. Listen, his mother had a green thumb, Janet. I hope you're listening right now, Janet and Tom. But so when he went out to L.A. to be an actor, and now he has really settled in and just does some really beautiful work. And I just was going through his Instagram.
He's one of the biggest, most famous florists here in Los Angeles. He does every big gig, every celebrity. Like, the guy is like massive. I'm so excited for his success because he truly deserves it, first of all.
That's so cool.
He's freaking talented.
Me too. And if anybody needs to know what kind of work he does, if you've seen the Goop picture where Gwynny is standing in front of what essentially looks like a vagina made out of flowers.
Yeah.
Those are his flowers?
That's Matt.
There we go.
That's Matty right there.
Knows what he's doing then.
Yeah. Only he could do it.
So I think it's pretty wild that, one day we couldn't wait to get to the Philadelphia Auto Show because Ian Ziering was making an appearance there, and now you guys are friends.
Oh, my God, I'd die.
Isn't
life crazy?
It is. I mean, and you have the fandom and all that stuff. But let me ask you, with this cookbook and everything, and with your fascination with this, would this ever lead to a chain of Tiffany Thiessen restaurants?
Oh, gosh. The restaurant business, that's a whole nother ball game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I enjoy my sleep at night. And I think if I were to open a restaurant, I think that would go bye-bye. And this almost 50-year-old woman, I don't know if that's the avenue I want to go down. You never know. But
or like a pop-up.
Soon, I would say.
How about a food truck?
Because pop-up.
Because you could
handle a pop-up.
Yeah,
because handle a pop-up. That's possible. That's possible.
It's clear you love doing this. It's clear you love sharing this stuff.
I do. I really do. I love food. I love creating recipes. I mean, it's definitely been another huge passion of mine since I was little. So yes.
Nice. And you're going to be doing a book tour. It's a virtual book tour and a signing, and people can jump in and chat and ask questions and whatnot.
I actually did it yesterday. So sorry to say that you're Johnny Come Lately, but you are.
You missed out, Preston.
I know, and I'm telling you, just the leftover pizza breakfast sandwich alone has got me, and I'm seeing other things like leftover mashed potato dumplings and spaghetti pie.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to ask you this, and it's on our sheet here, and I remember reading something about this. One of your first commercials was for Peaches and Cream Barbie, correct?
It was. Yep.
So are you a Barbie aficionado, and has the success of the Barbie movie just blown you away?
Well, I'll tell you a little backstory that's quite funny. I was a Barbie. Like, I loved dolls when I was little. And so when I got the commercial, it was one of my very first big jobs that I ever got. I was super excited because it was Barbie. But the funny thing is when I got there, it was me and another girl. And I, of course, am brunette, if people know me. And the other girl was blonde. And so they let the blonde girl be able to, like, hold the Barbie doll. And I had to hold Ken. And as an 8-year-old little girl, Ken was not that exciting. I'm sorry. I'd be more excited now to hold Ken, but back then at 8, I'm sorry. I wanted Barbie, and I was very upset.
I can see why. Yeah, you don't get that's not what you want. So, but we're looking at the commercial right now. It's. Let me tell you, it still holds up. So there you go.
All right. Well, listen, Tiffany, we will make sure people are quite aware of the book. It's called Here We Go Again, Recipes and Inspiration to Level Up Your Leftovers. You can get it at tiffanythiessen.com, but I'm sure it's available on all books.
It's available everywhere where books are sold, yes.
Wonderful. Excellent. Great, Tiffany. Congratulations. And thanks for doing this, because I'm going to get some use out of it. You got it anytime. Tiffany Thiessen.
She's cool.
Yeah, she is.
If you ever see her interviewed, she's very, like this interview, you can tell she's very self-deprecating and fun. I like that.
It's time. We need to do this right now.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia.
You're a real crumb bum.
It's time for a crumb bum cash keyword.
All right, word is show, S-H-O-W. We're going to give you until 15 minutes after the hour to enter it. There are 3 ways that you can do it. Through WMMR.com, through the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. And one random entry is going to get $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules at WMMR.com. And it's all sponsored by Horizon Services. So again, the word is show, SHOW, and you have until 15 after the hour to get that in. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. Lesson question, trash, music news. They're on the way. We'll try a couple of these and see if it's
I don't want that one.
Just grab one.
Preston, at the adult store, is this the way most people select their stuff?
Yeah.
They reach into a bag.
bag. You reach in, here goes.
All right, thank you.
I went with this one. You can see it vibrate.
Wow, that one's much louder than mine. Hang on.
It's big.
Take it away. This is mine. And then yours?
Okay, Casey has what I would call the hot rod. What color is this? Copper?
Like a maroon.
Nah, like a
Maroon.
burgundy.
Burgundy, yeah.
Burgundy.
I'm
Okay.
Come on, mine is
Kathy.
sort of a happy medium.
All right, Kathy.
There are two
Well,
remaining.
I-
Pick a
vibrator.
I feel bad that Marissa can't take part.
Kathy's reaching in. First time ever her hand has been on a vibrator. Oh, she got one that's kind of contoured and has a little curl at the end.
Now, this is a European model, Preston.
Turn that on, Kathy. Let's hear it.
Ooh, that sounds almost nautical.
The two of you just got like turned
Well,
on, maybe.
No. It sounds like it's singing.
It's like my voice.
Hang on, let me harmonize. Hold on. No. That's how I'm playing chords on the guitar. It's a D.
Yeah.
All right, stop. Hold on. Ready? Play it.
What is that? That's very cool.
All right, Nick. Pull yours up.
All right, so in typical McElwain fashion, I got the skinny pink one.
Yeah, you did. You got the littlest one.
This will get the job done fast.
Hey, let's go racing, fellas.
Yeah!
Boogity, boogity, boogity. All right, so take your chosen vibrator over to the tracks. We have to turn them all on. All right, they're placing them on the track. Go. I'll call the race. Ready, and 3, 2, 1, begin. And they're off. Steves is taking off down the middle. Steves already crossed the finish line. In second place is, who was that?
The blue one.
Casey!
Casey came in second, followed by Nick McElwain, third. Look at me. I'm Kathy Romano is fourth, and mine is not even halfway down yet.
Oh, my God.
That
a
is
despicable display.
It's still just taking its time.
Where's Kathy?
Kathy's finished. Wow. Here comes mine rattling down. Still not across the finish line yet in 3, 2, 1, and there it is.
Oh,
wow.
Preston, does yours have the most girth?
No. Casey's does.
Surprisingly.
Let's put him back up on the track again, and we'll try. I'll turn the mic back up over there.
You're out!
Yeah, it's too fast.
It's too fast?
Man, do I know how to pick a fast dildo, though.
Get him in place.
Oh, my God. Preston, we've been to both the Poconos and Daytona.
And Dover.
That same sense of excitement.
All right, we got him lined up. You ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Let's go racing. And here we go. Now we got to race.
Oh, man.
Casey's is off to the lead, but it's neck and neck. Nick McElwain is pulling ahead.
Come on.
And it's taken a full length lead at this point, but you never know what might happen towards the end. Nick is still headed towards the finish line. He's just about there. Casey slowed down considerably. Nick, our winner. Woo! All right, now it's neck and neck for third
Head
and
and head.
fourth. It's head and head.
Kathy is making way here.
Casey's is coming up, and Kathy's is slowly catching mine, which has now trailed the third place. All right, Casey came in second. Kathy looks like she's going to take. I'm going to come in last place again.
Again?
Man. Look at this. And Kathy in fourth.
All right.
Me in last place. Son of a bitch.
Now,
I want a new dildo. All right, our next guest is ready to go. Man, we've had so many people here in the studio, and we saved the rock and roll for last because it's rock and roll time late in the show. But we're happy to have him here this morning performing at the TLA tonight. Please welcome Andrew WK.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah. As I said, rock and roll time early in the morning.
You build up to it. Yeah, you build up. It's sort of a way of calibrating your system. And it has been quite a lineup. I've been enjoying the preview tweets and posts that you guys have been putting up. So I feel very privileged to be included in such an illustrious group of folks.
It is pretty amazing. But there's been a great deal of excitement about you. And you have a very loyal fan base. And that's got to be very rewarding, right?
Well, we're all in this party together, and I certainly don't take it for granted that there are other folks that identify with this celebratory attitude, and we're all looking for the same thing, that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of joy, that kind of party fuel that helps you get through each day and make the most of it.
Well, listen, I think it is a huge badge of honor when you have reached a point in your career when you've actually become a Halloween costume.
Yes, and I designed it that way to make it very easy. As you can see, anyone can find a white T-shirt. The white jeans can be a little harder to find, but they're not always that hard. Even painter's pants will do if you don't have anything else. And if you throw on a wig and a bloody nose, and you're good to go.
But generally, you go with denim for the pants?
I do.
White denim?
Yes, the denim is durable, and I need durability. I need support. I need that harder, thicker fabric.
And denim absolutely serves that bill. So.
It does. It really does.
The costume is cool enough that people in the know, you can kind of say, okay, they know. And other people have no clue. So you can break up the crowd immediately.
Yes. It's a litmus test for partiers.
Right.
I used to wear white pants all the time when I was
Did you?
Yes.
You and
They
Mr. Rourke.
They weren't denim. They were just like, whatever kind of fabric, cotton or something like that. But
I can't because like 9 times out of 10 I'm walking around with skid marks and I just
that's
can't
the point.
let them.
That's the whole. Those are the hard-earned party stains. You got to showcase those proudly.
They're like bruises, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. We wanted to welcome somebody else here into the studio because she's a massive fan. She produces our afternoon show, so she came in very, very early for this. Sarah Parker is here with us this morning.
Hi.
And Sarah made it a point to be here nice and early in the morning. What is it you love about Andrew WK?
Oh my gosh, the fact that he is so very positive, especially nowadays. So many crappy things are happening in this world, right? You look at the news and you just get upset, but Andrew is this
latest keyword that we've offered up for MMR's Crumb Bum Cash. So make sure you do that and get yourself set because we might give you a call and you just might win $1,000 in our company-wide contest brought to you by Horizon Services. So again, the word is SHOW, SHOW. Enter that right about now. All right, we have some other things to give away. While you're doing that, we also have a chance for you to win a pair of tickets to see Drew Lynch, who's going to be playing Thursday, October 12th at the Keswick Theater in Glenside, of course. And the question that we posed to you this morning, dear friend, to see if you've been listening, is what does the attorney war child always advise you to do? 215-263-WMMR. What does attorney war child always advise you to do? 215-263-WMMR. If you heard that earlier this morning, well, this is your chance to win. So call right now, and we'll do the trash while you're calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Liberty Safes of New Jersey on Route 130 in Bordentown and Route 73 in Mount Laurel. Online at libertysafesnj.com. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, rumors abounding that NBA superstar Jimmy Butler has been linked to explosive hip-shaking singer and dancer Shakira. Butler is not commenting, but it should be noted that he recently traveled to a urologist in Zurich to get his penis restraightened.
Wow.
The costume Leonardo DiCaprio wore, Kathy, in James Cameron's Titanic, going up for auction next month and is expected to fetch between $115,000 and $230,000. Also up for auction is a donut pillow Kathy Bates sat on during a hemorrhoid flare-up.
Wow. Oh, my God.
And finally, Kevin Federline telling People magazine that there was a time during his marriage to Britney Spears when he feared people were thinking that he was, quote, a loser. Federline says he's now in a much more certain place where people know he's a loser. And that's a Hollywood.
All right, we are going to see if you know the answer to this. What does the attorney war child always advise you to do? And our caller. Well, first, let me welcome you. Is your name Eric?
Yes, it is.
All right, and what does he always advise you to do?
Back off.
Yeah. Seriously. Hang on, Eric.
Back off, war child. Seriously.
You got it right, and we are going to set you up with a pair of tickets to see Drew Lynch Thursday, October 12th at the Keswick Theater in Glenside. Tickets are on sale now. Details on the concert calendar at WMMR.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Monster Mania 57, and that's coming up November 10th to the 12th in Oaks, Pennsylvania with Alice Cooper. Scream reunion. The stars of Five Nights at Freddy's and more.
Awesome.
And tickets are on sale now. MonsterMania.net. Just a handful of stories this morning. U2 took a moment out of their Las Vegas residency to pay tribute to Sinead O'Connor. During their Saturday concert at the new Sphere venue, the band broke into a snippet of O'Connor's 1990 song, Nothing Compares to You, honoring the singer, who also hailed from the group's native island and died at the age of 56 in July. The band honored the singer-songwriter while playing With or Without You. After Bono sang the final verse of the Grammy winner's emotional fan favorite, the song warped into the classic O'Connor track. And he had said, nothing compares to you, while keeping his gaze glancing upward. Moments after the song concluded, he continued looking peacefully up and outward at the animal designs in a pink hue that covered the interior of the spherical space. The band had previously spoke about the death of the singer, whose death is currently being investigated with an autopsy after no medical cause was given. In July, they shared a photo of the artist and activist on Instagram, and in the caption, quoted the lyrics of her 1986 collaboration with The Edge on the song Heroin, and the group wrote, touch these eyes with a broken smile, touch my mouth with your furrowed brow, lift my heart, heal my shame, lead me into rest again, Heroin, rest in peace, Sinead.
Look up on the ceiling, there's a mule deer. They're having a big problem with those on Catalina Island. I hope everyone will say a prayer for the mule deer and the eventual culling of them.
Bono is really up
He's
on
very
current
tied
events.
into current events.
He always knows what's happening.
Which is weird, because didn't he also do a something for Penny Marshall on stage as well? I thought he did.
You're gonna do it. Give you any chance, you'll take it. Give you any rule, you're gonna break it.
Beautiful.
You're gonna make your dreams come true.
We can stop now.
Doing it your way.
On, yeah.
Nothing's gonna turn you back now. Straight ahead, because you're on the track now. You're gonna make your dreams come true. Doing it your way. There's nothing you won't try. You never heard the word impossible.
Beautiful lyrics.
This time, there's no stopping you. You're gonna do it. Because, believe it or not, you're walking on air. You never thought you could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Ooh, could this be me? It's the greatest American heroes, and that's what you are. You, every one of you.
It's beautiful.
He's the man with the
still
microphone.
holds up.
Yeah. Sharon Osbourne is making plans to open a museum of Ozzy Osbourne memorabilia in his hometown in England.
Huh. I wonder what that would be like.
On their family's podcast, The Osbournes, Sharon said, I've been busy trying to get together Daddy's memorabilia for the memorabilia place that we're opening in Birmingham.
They should have him record the recording devices that you walk around.
Oh, this is describing what you're looking at, and
That'd be more like just
from
like
Ozzy's perspective. 4 years ago, the Birmingham Music and Art Gallery opened a 3-month exhibition on Black Sabbath.
So his actual rock memorabilia, right? Okay.
She said it would be an interactive experience with videos of live shows, and they would have all of his awards, stage clothes, posters from the early incarnation of Sabbath.
There's also the collection of my Beanie Babies.
And then, speaking of Ozzy, Jack Black was performing at an event. It was Tom Morello's grandmother's 100th birthday party.
Yeah.
Was his grandmother?
His grandmother.
And his son is in this band. I believe that's his son.
Yeah, it's wild because it really looked kind of like a really intimate venue or a place or almost like a restaurant.
It looked at a retirement home is
Yeah.
what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
But Jack and Tom's son's band were playing, and they did some Ozzy.
They did.
For a 100th birthday
Yeah,
party.
they
So
did.
I'm going to play a little bit of this. This is him and the version of Mr. Crowley. Here we go.
For a 100-year-old woman.
And by the way, the kids in the band look to be about 13,
About that,
14
yeah.
years old, something like that, and they sound great. Yeah. And the kid ends up doing like a ripping guitar solo, and I'm assuming
Of
that's
course, yeah,
Tom's
it's gotta be
son.
his son.
I'm not 100% sure, but it's pretty cool. We have another piece of audio to play as well. This is now you're gonna have to set this up, Steve, because I don't know what's up with the Dave Grohl clip.
Yeah, so somebody had a medical incident during and it's just a quick little thing, but during one of their concerts, and so he starts to noodle a little bit of Zeppelin in the first clip, Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, okay.
Should I stop playing while you take care of that? I'll play something while you do that. Everything all right? Did you figure that out? Or do I have to play Stairway to Heaven? Do we need to play Stairway to Heaven right now? All right, we got to make sure they're okay over there, all right?
And then it turns out the person's okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the word she can get what she can. Are we good over there yet? And she's buying a stairway to heaven. Can I play a Foo Fighters song now? Is that situation figured out? Great. Because that's a long song. You know that, right? Well, I got another confession.
Isn't that great?
By the way, it's going to be a Foo Fighters weekend here on MMR. It's the Everything or Nothing at All tour, and they're going to be performing at Hershey Park Stadium on July 23rd. Pierre will have tickets for you to win today.
Yeah.
And then through the weekend, we will have them available as well on MMR. And we're going to be playing double shots of Foo Fighters all weekend long. So make sure that you are with us. All right, and that is the last item in music news. We are going to take a break. We're going to come back in a second and wrap up the program. You will need the letter of the day for the word of the week, so don't go anywhere. We'll have it next.
Positivity. So I'm thinking that perhaps you should explain what partying means to you, because someone who's not familiar with Andrew WK might think that's just drinking all the time. So what does partying mean to you?
Well, it certainly could mean drinking all the time for someone. I'm not really here to tell someone what it is. I guess I chose that word because I thought it was actually something that everyone did understand, that everyone was familiar with that. It didn't take a lot of explanation or elaboration, that a 4-year-old or a 94-year-old, I should say a 93-year-old or a 33-year-old, they all understand in some way how to enjoy the fact that they're not dead. And that's really the beginning and the end of the party mindset. You can apply it as vastly or as simply as possible.
There's a great video of Andrew. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, you can find it. He's being interviewed, and the interviewer is asking a pretty long, drawn-out question. And in that time, Andrew's face contorts into a scowl of sorts, and then you answer the question very quickly. And it's hilarious. It's got over like 3 million views. But are you, faces? Is that something you were always good at as a kid? Were you making
Gurning?
Yeah.
Yeah, hamming it up. I mean, the face is a very fun thing if you can control it. I don't have complete control. I think in that video you're talking about, maybe some kind of demon took control of my face. But
very much so.
Let them have at it.
Let them out.
Yeah, let them have their fun with my face.
You seem to be obsessed with pizza.
Well, who isn't, really? I mean, even the person who hates pizza the most, they still are engaged in the phenomenon.
You have a guitar look like a pizza slice.
I have a pizza slice guitar.
Which is pretty badass.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you to the great folks at ESP Guitars for making it for me.
Yeah, very nice.
And we just made another one, too.
Yeah, a taco guitar, right?
That's right. Yes. Literally, it's just days old. It's still very fresh. Yeah, I've only played it, I think, maybe 5 times now on stage. We just got it during this tour.
Okay. Hey, Andrew, with your signature look, the whites and the bloody nose, did the bloody nose happen by accident at some point, and then you were like, hey, that looks kind of cool?
That was part of the initial vision I was presented with, so I executed that in a rather painful way. But I have gotten bloody noses on stage by accident, much to my dismay.
Right.
Most of them were accidentally self-inflicted, meaning I kicked myself in my own face. When I was trying to do a very impressive high kick in New Orleans, for example, I saw a friend in the crowd I hadn't seen in years. I said, I'm going to really blow his mind. I'm going to do the highest kick of all. And it was so high that I almost kicked through my own head.
Wow.
But I got a bloody nose. I did break my nose that night as well, which, as you can imagine, is rather painful. But the adrenaline got going and the blood started flowing, and people thought it was all just part of the show.
Hey, listen, man, thanks for getting up early and stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about partying.
Of course. Have a great time in Philadelphia. Andrew WK, friend. We love this guy who's in our studio. He's a great guest. He's a great star, and he's got a film that he is promoting. It's coming up on Netflix, and it is called Wheelman. Let's welcome him back to our studio, Frank Grillo.
Awesome.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, I miss you guys.
We miss you as well, bud.
You came in and you blew us away the first time we had you in the studio. Great stories and full of energy. And we, obviously, you were attached to something. We were just, it was the Purge and obviously the Marvel Universe as well. Got to tell you, man, the Wheelman is a solid movie.
Yeah, you saw it?
I did see it on we got the advance. It's going to be on Netflix, which is turning out to be Valhalla for these kind of films.
It's amazing. I mean, this film, cost $5 million. My buddy Joe Carnahan and I.
Joe Carnahan is the Gray.
Yeah, the Gray and Smoking Aces and Narc and
love his stuff.
Yeah, he's great. So we're partners with this company War Party, and we made this movie for like $5.5 million.
Which is insane because but that's the deal. You're producing this movie.
Yeah,
is your first
and really we boots on the ground, like we produced the movie.
Yeah, so you did it in Boston.
In Boston,
okay,
at night.
That's a point I want to make about this movie, which makes it so unique. You have the first time director Jeremy Rush, who wrote the screenplay.
By the way, the guy was a PA for 13 years. Right. Never directed anything.
This idea that he has, which is very cool. That so you're in this car and you're a wheelman. You're a driver for hire for criminals.
Right.
You're going to go on this, you take these guys out, they're going to rob a bank, but you get this call. The guys, when they get back in the car, are going to kill you. And now there's this stuff, and you're off and running, and it has everything I love about a period of time in Hollywood, 70s movies.
That's it.
Like a high.
Wait a minute. Did you talk to somebody?
No, but you when you turn badass, there's a scene where you grab a guy, you pull up. But to get back to my original point, there's angles from the car. When you leave the car, a lot of times you're seeing you through the windshield, and you're hearing. And you bring the guy back, and so the car itself is a character in the thing, and so you have your claustrophobia, but it's also your one way of getting away from the crap.
Yep.
And there are angles and stuff that I thought were just really brilliant for a first-time director. I'm like,
that was all him too. This guy was knocking on trailer doors for 13 years and writing scripts, and he sent it to Carnahan, and Carnahan read it. And gave him some notes, and they started dialogue, and he sent it to me, and I was like, man, this is really interesting. Like, this could be really bad or really good. We brought it to our agency. They brought it to Cannes, and Netflix bought it like the next day, and we were making the movie in a month and a half. That guy was knocking on doors for 13 years.
But it took like
if not for Joe Carnahan, it wouldn't have happened.
What did you not anticipate being a producer of a movie that caught you off guard?
At one point, this movie was going to be 23 days, which is kind of Herculean in itself. And we were like, I think we could save money. Let's make it 19 days. So I shot like 35 pages of dialogue the last 2 days of the film.
Wow.
So we could save like $11.
Well, because you're on the other side of the the check now, and you're now to save. As an actor, you might piss him on as I need a little bit more time or whatever. On the producer side, he's just saying, can we do this for cheaper? I have to bring this up too. Doing the research on this movie, Wolf Warrior 2, which is, explain where this is. Now, we have not heard much about this movie.
No, because it's not in America.
But globally.
How about this? So I do a movie in China last year, right? And it's a big deal because you want a Chinese kind of presence. But there had been a Wolf Warrior 1, it was very successful, made like $100 million. And they paid me a lot of money to go to China. Joe and Anthony Russo produced it. They're the directors of Captain America.
Yeah.
They said, go do this. It's our whole stunt crew is going to really. And so I went and did it and made a ton of money. The movie's going to make $1 billion.
Oh, my God.
It's like the highest.
It is the second highest domestic grossing film ever behind Star Wars. Yeah.
What?
And I play a character named Big Daddy. I'm the bad American.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
you have to see the jacket I'm wearing.
All right, we're looking at the
show it.
We're looking at the trailer.
This was all
of it
shot
right
in
now.
China, by the way. I am, and I'm going to say this on the radio, the biggest American star.
China.
Yeah, this movie is a phenomenon.
I was reading the numbers on it, like surpassing.
Yeah.
You got to realize globally where this movie falls into the list.
We live in this tiny little bubble in the United States,
right?
And there's there are more people in China, meaning there's more money to be made, I guess, over there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens, and they talk about you opening up in other markets and so on and so forth. Their movie opens up in India and does well. The Bollywood, is a whole
I mean, this is literally the second. This is only behind Star Wars. So, like Joe Russo called me and goes, "You are a unicorn now in China. We're gonna go make Lethal Weapon. It's with you and a Chinese movie star. We're gonna go do Lethal Weapon next year."
So when you play a bad guy and you're known for you're sort of a bad guy, and
I played it campy, like I was
over the top.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I was
that's
in China. I didn't think anybody was going to see it. I was like Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman. Hoo-ah!
That's great.
Look, that's Big Daddy.
Oh man!
Yeah, I represent everything bad about the world.
Wow. Hey, where did you guys shoot for Captain America: Civil War? Was that in Africa?
Part of it was in. I think part of it was in Africa. I didn't. I was always in Atlanta.
And by the way, Crossbones is not dead.
Is he dead?
Oh no. He seems dead.
Come on, man.
He seems dead.
Dude,
seems dead.
I was just down at Marvel, with every said nobody mentioned that he wasn't dead. He's dead.
They don't. That's one of the.
I think he's definitely dead.
He's definitely dead. He's dead. Man.
That uniform's too freaking cool.
No, he's dead. I know. So, I'm too old. Listen, I think at some point they're going to have to change the Avengers. They're getting a little long in the tooth.
Can I ask a question?
When they first get their AARP card,
I had a question about your scene in Civil War.
Yeah.
The spit on the side of your mouth. Was that makeup spit or was that your?
No, it's real spit. I have it right now. I get excited. I'm really sweating right now.
That's got to be wild, though. Just listen. You are part of one of the greatest movie fights ever filmed.
Yeah.
That elevator fight, which we know you had a lot of sway over.
Yeah.
I can watch that over and over. That's got to be a sense of pride for you.
It's fun. It's all fun.
And knowing also now that you could just demolish Chris Evans.
He's so skinny now. I just saw him. He's so beautiful. But I was with all of they were all there. The whole every Marvel character was assembled. It was like 45 people. Like I'm sitting with Cheadle and William Hurt. You don't realize how many people have been in those movies. It's amazing. Yeah.
Wow. I think I would cry if I was in the presence of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was fascinating.
All right, let's hear it for Frank Grillo. All right, let's dive into the entertainment news. I'm sure you heard about this, but it's a big announcement. Princess Kate and Prince William.
Everything that rocks, don't you know? Kathy, I forgot to do this earlier.
Yes.
And we need to do it now because we are wrapping up the program. We need our secret text word caller.
Oh.
So what's it going to be?
I'm going to go with caller 6.
All right, 6 caller, 215-263 WMMR, but you need to know the secret text word in order to win. So 215-263 WMMR. We'll see if you end up getting the goodies that we have over here. Today's been a busy day, and I would like to thank all those busy people that came by today. We had comedian Arden Myrin. Hey! And Arden, a ball of energy.
Delightful.
Brought us tons and tons of tasty cakes this morning, and she will be performing at City Winery next Thursday. You can get tickets at citywinery.com. But she was a lot of fun.
She was
really
great.
Cool. And then we had another cool gal stop by. She is in the new tour of Mean Girls, and she's playing the lead, Caddy. And the shows are going on now. It started yesterday at the Miller Theater, which is part of the Kimmel campus, through this Sunday, October 8th. And her name was Natalie Shaw, and she was just a sweet gal and a talented person. And then we had the very spunky Tiffany Thiessen on the program. And she's got a new cookbook called Here We Go Again, Recipes and Inspiration to Level Up Your Leftovers. which is available now and actually sounds like some pretty solid.
You going to try that pizza?
I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
The breakfast pizza for sure. And then we got to thank the Biscuit Lady and the Biscuit Lady's friends for stopping by this morning in Manioc. And you know what she brought us? Biscuits.
Biscuits.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But no, we had a bunch of guests and lots of friends stop by this morning.
Biscuits.
All right, we were looking for caller number 6. Just so happens we have that call on the line, and it is Mike. Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mike. Good morning to see you. And what is the secret text word, sir?
Clown.
Clown is correct. You got it, buddy. Hang on the line.
Hi, Mike.
We're going to get your information. We're going to give you tickets to see Depeche Mode Wednesday, October 25th at the Wells Fargo Center. And we also are going to give a pair to Rob Ross from Roxborough, Pennsylvania.
That's a lot of R's.
Rob was our secret texter. I mean, he was the random texter that we chose. And he is also going to get tickets to Depeche Mode Wednesday, October 25th. Wells Fargo Center tickets are on sale now. Complete details on the concert calendar at WMMR.com. What did you say, sir?
Steve said that's a lot of R's, and I said it sure is.
It sure is.
Rob Ross from where?
Roxborough.
Rob Ross from Roxborough.
That's right.
Who is rocking and ready.
That's right.
REM.
To reciprocate.
To reciprocate, if you will.
Right.
Looking at a picture of you and Dave Grohl. Why is this on my screen here?
Oh, because I have Foo Fighters tickets to go. That's the last time I interviewed him. I think that's the last time I interviewed him in person. I've done a few phones with him since then, but that is on my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter thing. And it is in honor of the fact that we will have these Foo Fighters tickets that you were kind enough to mention earlier.
Okay. He's a very genuine guy, is he not?
Oh, my God. He's just the best. That clip that you played, going into a little stairway to heaven, I mean, everyone that works in their camp just says over and over how decent a person he is. And he's never been anything short of kind in the chances that I've had to talk with him.
I saw a cool video. Stefan Lassard of the Dave Matthews Band, bass player for the Dave Matthews Band, shared this yesterday. And it was Dave in concert. And there was a nice person sitting up front holding up a poster. And Dave said, I can see it. And I really like what it says on there. It's annoying the people behind you. And because this woman who was holding up the poster, she was blocking the people. They couldn't see the stage. And so he acknowledged it in a really nice way and appreciated what she had written. And he's like, now please take it down. And so and then the crowd went nuts. And, it was cool.
That is so cool.
The way he handled it was great.
I've thought of him a lot, him and Billy Joe Armstrong, when I do my weekend or my daily planner, because it often is in 1967 or 68 or 69 on this day, some artist from Janis Joplin to Jim Morrison was arrested on stage for cursing.
Right.
And, I mean, every other word is an F-bomb or an S-bomb from him or Billy Joe. Thus that, I mean, we have some Green Day records on vinyl that we can't play because they're nothing but there's no way of editing them. Because, I mean, you could pot it down if it was one F, but then F, so it's fascinating. But he's the best.
He is, absolutely. All right, we need to get a letter out of you if you got it. All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by The Letter.
I, as in illegal.
All right, we have 2 more to go, and then we give away the VIP package for 2 at the Taste Philadelphia Festival of Food, Wine, and Spirits. It's October 20th and 21st. Valley Forge Casino Resort plus hotel stay that Friday night. Watch live cooking demonstrations, drink and mingle with local sports legends. And you can meet It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia star Glenn Howerton as he signs bottles of Four Walls whiskey. 21 and over event, over 120 exhibitors to sample and taste. And tickets are available at PhillyTasteFest.com, by the way. So we know you got Foo Fighters tickets.
Right.
What else you got going on?
Crumb Bum Cash at noon, 3 and 5 o'clock. We've got workforce blocks of Collective Soul and Led Zeppelin and The Killers.
Ooh, nice selection. And I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Preston and Steve Show, brought to you today by Dunkin'. And the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Tomorrow, a Thursday morning, we'll have in our studio for a full-on update of what is going on in his life, Bam Margera.
Wow.
Will be here tomorrow.
Wow.
So he's in town, and he's been here for a little while, and he's getting things together. So he wants to come on and chat.
Yeah.
So we'll have him on. See
And
how
he's a
doing.
friend.
Yeah. All right, that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.